Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers. Happy Thursday, June 29th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Frustrating night last night. You know, it was sitting 2-0 with Minnesota Atlanta under 10 at plus 105 and calling out Jaime Barria for the fraud that he is ahead of the market. So caught the first 5 over 4.5 so easily in White Sox Angels. So we're sitting 2-0. Cardinals are up comfortably. It's 0-0 after 3 in Oakland, New York. I'm like, oh shit, I could sweep this day. And Jose Altuve was awesome yesterday and screwed me over. 3-run jack. Gallegos is trash. After the 3-run jack, why didn't they pull him? Why didn't they pull Gallegos then? Let Abreu, who's done nothing all year, take a 2-run shot as well. So that was extremely frustrating. Cardinals letting me down, letting Jose down, letting Gamblers First Glance down. Very, very frustrating. And then Athletics First 5, obviously, her man, had a perfecto. So 2-2, down 0.2 units. Extremely frustrating. And I'm excited to cap the card today. We have a ton of afternoon action. We have 12 MLB games. A lot of these Thursdays are quiet, not this Thursday. It's packed, 12 games, afternoon action. Jose Bouquett will be joining me to break this down. Also, we have Sharpie giving us a morning look. Special guest Sharpie, star of The Walking Dead, will be joining us. And then Billy Brisbane for WNBA. Shout out to the cappers in the chat. Spreadsheet play today is in. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today. Houston minus 111 here with the Astros. Man, did I look a long time at JP France First 5. I can't understand why the market is not moving towards him. That was one of my first expected bets yesterday that I have not been able to bet. In fact, there was not a lot that correlated. Finally, I got 2 spots that I love. We'll discuss all of that. Spreadsheet play today is in Vipe in the house. Kansas City first 5 money line and Miami money line is only action locked in. I will copy and paste that Vipe. Thank you for sharing with us. Stacks play of the day is in. Red Sox team total over 4.5 plus 104. Shout out to Justin McElvey. And there is TJ in the house. Says, look, I hate laying wood on the gift. Average lines minus 104. But a gift, I got to be clean here for the first 8 minutes of the show, is a gift. And you take the crap from the books when they give it to you. You open it and rub it all. Okay, sorry. Okay. Dodgers first 5 minus 0.5 and minus 135. And yes, the gift has an average line of minus 104. 21-9 on the show, hitting at 70% plus 11.93 units ROI plus 36.5% with the gift. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play today. Had won 6 straight. We have not gotten a W here to start the week after Tuesday and Wednesday, but still, you're not what your last bet is. You're what your record is. And 26-20, 56.5% plus 5.76 units ROI plus 12.52%. Average line minus 103 for Ron Crawford. Mr. Lewis in the house. Blessings, everyone. Cubs money line for Mr. Lewis. There's some really, it feels a little bit like yesterday where at least I've got 2 bets here. I had to spend it. Oh, and Justin McElvey says, on my way to the Pirates game, need a bet for the game. Well, you've come to the perfect spot because our special guest today is moving on that game. Tone Miggins says, stop fading my Phillies. Let's eat. Well, you know, I've got them. Got them when they were definitely under 500 to win the NL and to win the World Series. So I believe. Alondo in the house. Nice to see you, Alondo. Mr. Vape, Padres first 5 minus a half to start today for Mr. Vape. Londo liking the over 10 in the Phillies game, sees a lot of runs. Yes, Londo, yes, but you could have got that at 9. So I couldn't move on the 10. Once I figured that out myself, it was too late for the 10, but it was not too late for the 5.5, even though that opened at 5. I got that 5.5 regular VIG. I got that regular VIG when Pinnacle moved it to 6. So bet 365 a little late there. So Mr. Vape's action is in. Let's get this ready to go. Here we go. Tone Miggins, Professor Chris says, I'm on the Pirates again. My model has them only plus 124, so I like the money line plus 170. And he's on the run line too. Professor Chris has spoken. Let's get that here for this first game. Locked in. Mally Mal in the house. Jay's final take. Star of the Let Your Nuts Hang play of the day. Let them dangle. Real Deal Prime in the house. Serious business. Jay Smooth. Real Deal Prime says it's plus 30 here. Good God. Rob Free 6-0 day yesterday. Those Rays and Stroh's comebacks were epic. Nice job. Mally Mal says on the losing streak, time to change that today. Yes. There's Luke Murphy. Last official school day for Quebec teachers for Luke Murphy, esteemed author Luke Murphy, who now will be in our chat a lot more. I love that. Sharpie says up 1.94 units, 1.94 on the Walking Dead yesterday. He's running so hot, and he's going to be here to deliver the goods. There's Sammy Calmer. We have missed you, Sammy. A 1-of-1 Benny. Mr. Heat. Yeah, no, I hear you, Mally. Look, I thought the Cardinals were the right play for about 3 hours of that baseball game. Creek Man ready to get to work. BJ, what a casher he had yesterday. 4 units on the Philadelphia Phillies for BJ. And his best bet today is the Mets. Also likes him on the -1 line as well. Let's get that in here. Make sure I got everybody's action they're dropping in the chat. Rocco Rogers on Bayo over 17.5 outs. Let's get that up here as well. Okay, and Tone Miggins, Levels play of the day is in. 3 units, Tone dropping on the Guardians. Make sure I got that here. That's going to be a fun one. Couple of old-timers. You know how badly I wanted to move on the first 5 under in that. Badly. But, you know, you can only bet what do you think will cash? And I don't know. I don't know if that one's going to cash. Joey Marinaccio ready to get to work. Top set. Ooh, top set. You've been running so hot. That hot stone massage. I'd blame it on the hot stone massage you had yesterday. Billy Friedrich says, I cannot cap my White Sox at this point. Well, I told you guys. And now, look, I can be wrong, and sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right. But me calling out Jaime Barria is a thing of goddamn beauty. Tom Leach on the Pirates plus 1.5 and the under. And Tone going back to his Phillies. Let's get all this in here. So Tom Leach. So we got Professor Chris. All right, we got Tom Leach. It's action. Joe Yurkovich. Hail Mary's value shot. Tigers money line and Olsen. I was shocked at the total of that Detroit game. Like, just shocked at it. And of course, when you're shocked at something, you need to regroup, talk it out with the squad, which is what we'll do here. Tone Miggins on the Phillies. Let's get this here. The Phillies money line for Tone. I think did I get that into this? Sorry, I just want to make sure I have everything set. Here we go. I have moved on that game as well. The first 5 over 5.5. And I don't want to do that with Taiwan Walker and Kyle Hendricks. I was forced to. There's Billy Brisbane. He'll be rolling with us in WNBA. Ricky Bobby on the Cubs' first 5. Jay's final take says yesterday Texas -1.5, now 5-3 with the Let Your Nuts Hang play of the day. And there's Mike M, fresh off cashing the ribeye play of the day. What a beaut Mike M is. What a good beaut. Let's get him right here. All right. Razor sharp picks. That was heartbreaking. God, that hurt, man. All right. Great to see all of you guys. Rob Free says, stay away from that Padres bullpen. Them boys are horrendous. Billy Friedrichs moved on. Detroit, Texas, first 5 over 5. Full game over 9. And he's going to be betting the Houston first 5 over when it drops. Team total over when it drops. So let's get all this here ready to go. I won't have everything before every game, but I have everything copied and posted. Vitalis in the house. Joe Yurkovich. All right. So it is time to get to work. And, well, let's just talk about this. Last Thursday, we swept the board. 4-0 in MLB, 2-0 in CFL. I want that again. Let's bring on my co-host for these Thursday MLB breakdown, star of the Say Hey play of the day. Please welcome Jose Bouquett to the show. Jose, how are you?
I'm nonplussed. I'm not thrilled, but we're going to turn it around here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm excited, and it's always nice to have our other guest in here as well.
It is, and yes, I followed your action yesterday, as I do every day, and I just can't believe the Cardinals didn't cash for us. That was a tough inning.
Yeah, what happened in Oakland as well really was just bothersome indeed.
I hear you. Dabby Cab, Rangers, first 5 -1 for Dabra Cadabra. He will be our guest tomorrow on our Friday betting with the bag. Tori Coker ready to get to work. Jay's final take says line value on Detroit. We start at 12:35 p.m. Eastern in an hour and 23 minutes, and we're bringing in a ringer. Star of the Walking Dead. This man has action on this morning game, and he wants to share it with the squad. Please welcome Sharpie's Bets to the show. Sharpie, how are you?
I'd be doing a lot better if we had more than 25 fucking likes for the 150 people in here, bro. Jimmy don't ask for much, bro. Smash that like button. It helps the algorithms a lot. Let's get 300 live in here instead of 200 every day, guys. And the only way we're going to do it is by you hitting that like button and other people seeing this show. So smash the shit where we give you winners.
You are a good man, Sharpie, and we are all excited to hear your thoughts on this baseball game. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's get to work. 12:35 p.m. Eastern. We've already heard Mr. Vape on the Padres first 5 -1/2. Professor Chris on the Pirates. He says his model has them at +124. Must bet them at +170. Tom Leach on the Pirates +1.5 and the under in this spot. And there's our guy, Mikey DeMaria in the house. Great to see you, Mikey. Smoky Potts ready to get to work. Jake Cook says out here, mowing grass, ready to make some locks or create some locks. But we know that number doesn't really, that term doesn't really exist here. But let's go. TJ says, got to wait the full 8 minutes to get Sharpie in. I wasn't thinking that. But I didn't even think about that. And TJ's on the first 5 under 5 here. And -120 in the Pirates game. Let's get that here locked in so we can discuss it. You guys know how bad I want to bet Joe Musgrove. I want to bet Joe Musgrove in every start, but just not enough correlation for me here at this point. But let's talk it out. 71 Fahrenheit in Pittsburgh at first pitch, 4.4 miles per hour right to left, slightly out to left field. It gets up to 5.3. So wind really a non-factor. See what Ballpark Pal has to say about PNC today. -2% homers, +13% doubles and triples, +5% runs here. Let's go over to the line history for this spot. I got the first 5 total up, and we've been discussing it. It is right now at 4.5. It opened up at 4.5, -107 each way. This has gone up to 5 many times, and it pretty much is a 5 at Pinnacle. They're saying it's 4.5, but it's over -122 to the over, which is basically a 5. So we've gone up to 5, which is doesn't really make sense to me with the way Luis Ortiz has been shoving of late and my feelings on Musgrove. This total opened up at 8. Not 8.5, at 8. It took 3 minutes before it moved 8.5 at Pinnacle, and now it is at 9. A lot of movement. Now, this 9 also was just very slightly juiced to the under at 10:19 a.m. 14 minutes ago. It's heavily juiced to the under. So it's been 9 cents of movement to the under. But we've seen this go from 8 to 9. Let's take a look at the money line here for this one. We have now movement to the Padres, but this was not there last night. In fact, it was the complete opposite. This had a full 10-cent move to the Pirates by 10:17 p.m., had a 13-cent move to the Pirates by 11:14 p.m., and then it started coming back, basically just with the public coming in and betting the Pirates, who now have 8 cents of movement towards them. So we have 8 cents of movement towards the Padres. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this first game on our card. Pops off in an hour and 20 minutes. For the total, 42% of tickets, 57% of cash on the under. We know it's gone up a full run. And then we have 32% of tickets and 82% of cash on the Pittsburgh Pirates, which has created a situation where I can't bet the Padres. I can't bet Musgrove. But we'll hear after Sharpie and Jose's breakdown, maybe if I can mess with it. Musgrove 6-2, 3.88 ERA, 1.26 whip last start, 13-3 win at the Nationals. He was excellent. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, no walks. On the road, 3.13 ERA, but at 270 opponent's batting average. They're not really barreling on him. He's only allowed 2 home runs on the 23 innings. Luis Ortiz coming off an excellent start at Miami. We all know how Miami's playing right now. 2-3, 3.74 ERA, 1.62 whip. He doesn't get strikeouts as much as he would probably like. His K to walk ratio isn't where he wants at 31-22, but this is a young Dominican pitcher who I believe in, and so do the Pirates. He, against Miami, went 8 innings, allowed 1 earned run, 5 Ks, and 2 walks. At home, he's got funky numbers, 19 2/3, only 7 strikeouts with 7 walks. He's only allowed 3 home runs. Opponents are hitting 303 off of him, but it's pretty much ticky-tack, soft contact hits. Padres versus righties, 252, 725 OPS since June 1st. Pirates, 226, 641. The Padres bullpen, 3.49 ERA since June 1st. And the Pirates bullpen, 4.90 ERA. So let's get to work and hear from our guest, Sharpie, making a morning appearance here. I'm betting with the bag. Sharpie was up very early. As you know, he wakes up very early. He 8:18 a.m. in San Diego, and he's ready to give us the goods and get us on a winning start. Take it away, Sharpie. Floor is yours. Padres, Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said why I won't ever bet on Jose Ortiz as I bet on K-props, guys. If you don't know, I do bet other things, but for the most part, it's strictly K-props as I've hit over 63% the last 2.5 years. So I stick to K-props because that's what I'm good at. So he pretty much said I'd never bet on Ortiz, and you're fucking right, I wouldn't. But I have made money off Ortiz on unders. What I'm looking at, though, is Joe fucking Musgrove today. And my whole thing is what's wrong with the Padres, as I've been one of them guys who thinks they will actually turn this shit around. And I'm a Dodgers fan until I heard some stuff on the radio last night. And that makes me start to think that this is the Padres this year, as they're 3-32 when not leading after 6 innings, 5-23 in 1-2 run games. You just can't turn that fucking shit around, guys. Those are real fucking problems. This Padres team came into the year with expectations of World Series or bust, yet they haven't even won the division in 7 years, guys. They've never had the ups and downs, let alone the pressures, and they're taking their lumps. And to be real, it's showing with Bob Melvin this year, as I've seen him pull some bad managerial moves, when I actually like to say he's one of the better coaches in the league, but he ain't even living up to his part. What happened to the Padres last year, guys, that pressed every time when they were on base? They hit and ran all the fucking time, and they led the league in stolen bases. It's just not the same team right now. They're expecting their big 3 to show up, and the other 6 haven't showed up either, guys. If you remember last season, it was the end of the Padres order that was producing guys like Grisham, Kim, Nola. Nola's been replaced by Gary fucking Sanchez, who couldn't find a team anywhere, guys. And they're now using Kim as a leadoff hitter. So there's some legit problems in this Padres lineup. And I don't know if they make it out of this mess, as the National League West is probably the best division in baseball. And yeah, I'm not betting them to win or none of that type of shit, guys. I'm looking to back Musgrove over 5.5 strikeouts at -116. When we look at the Pirates' numbers versus right-handed pitchers the last 15 days, they're walking a little bit below league average. They're only striking out league average, but they're not hitting for the life of them as they're dead last in team batting average, OPS, and isolated power in that span. Now, guys, they just lost their best player to the IL in Cabrian Hayes. So, yes, the walk-in strikeout numbers say no to a K-prop, but the hitting numbers tell us a different story. And that story is Joe Musgrove should be out there at least 6 innings and will have multiple opportunities to hit this over. So, these numbers are trash, and they're not striking out. So, who the hell have they seen in these 15 days of numbers? That's the way I like to look at it. And the only 2 guys I would bet on is Freddie Peralta and Udi Perez, who both went 6 innings with 9 strikeouts each. So because the numbers don't say smack it, I always do temper my expectations. So I did put a half unit on Musgrove, as I normally do go half units when I'm bucking the system like I am today. But like I said, guys, who the fuck have they seen? And I'm willing to bet that when they see my guys, they do the damn thing. So me going half units on spot like this has helped me from running into disaster days, as my worst day this month has only been a -1.2 units. So I don't go full balls in spots where it really doesn't tell us to go, but I'm banking on these Pirates ain't fucking hitting and Musgrove being out there 6-7 innings.
Yeah, I love the breakdown. I love the breakdown, and a lot of cappers in the chat liking it as well. Let's hear what Jose Bouquett has to say. Sharpie moving on Musgrove over 5.5 Ks at -116. Jose, what's your plan?
Yeah, I have nothing really much on this game. This game kind of just felt like a Padres spot, honestly, but I would lean under here. Like Sharpie says, I don't trust the lineup either, and we said yesterday, I don't think this team makes that out of the NL West either, because the Marlins have just been that good. And that's a wild card spot gone for them. So we'll see what happens here. I don't believe in the Padres either, full season playoffs wise, but I definitely think Joe Musgrove can shove here against a Pirates offense that last 2 weeks, 30th, worst against righties, 55 weighted runs created plus. So I pass on this one, but shout out to Sharpie. I like that K prop as well.
And Sharpie, we have a question here in the chat, but I would imagine that Reese Olson has not made the black book.
You got it right there. There it is. Bam.
Do you want to just explain how you are succeeding here with the K props the way you are, and a little touch on that black book?
Real quick, yeah, I bet on guys who strike people out for a living, not guys in good spots or who got low numbers. The numbers I tend to bet are higher than average. We actually get a low number on Musgrove because the team sees face this year. But I depend on a guy to strike out the side at any given time, whether it be the first inning or the last inning, to win my fucking K prop. And Reese Olson ain't a type of guy who's proven that to me. So you've got to earn your stripes. I'll watch games. I'll give you your test. If you pass those tests, you'll enter my book. But I don't just bet random people. It's worked for me to zone in on. Right now, I've got 92 spots. I've probably got 7 of those guys knocked off due to fucking injury, and 5 that just got crossed out, and another 5 who's on that wait and see list, like Peterson was. He just passed the wait and see list. I sure as fuck didn't go bet him versus Milwaukee. Dude was coming up from AAA. But he had a good game, and now I can look to bet him again. I mean, I set rules, I listen to my rules, and the times I don't, the baseball gods kick me square in the nuts. So to remind me, you said you weren't going to do this. And I set my lines the night before. I make my lines. It's pretty much based off of last 10 game averages. And then I'll take the taxes in for whether it be a team or a player. Like, you've got to pay attention to a Luis Arias, as the books will adjust a K prop 50 cents. He's not striking out, other than the other day. Fucking Whitlock's bitch ass started the game with a K on him. But there's about 4 guys in the league. You've got to know who they adjust lines for, which teams they're going to adjust it for. And I just don't buck the system, guys. I don't buck averages. I bet when a guy will go through his average. And if you would buck it yesterday, you fucking got cooked on Nola because they put him at a 5.5, and they got all this over money, and this guy should have been a 6.5. But because the rules we set on my show and that I live by, it saves me from fucking diving into those dumpster fires. So, I just try to keep the disaster days away and it's been like that. And I've got to bet on studs. I bet on studs.
And tell us a little bit about your show today, 3:10 p.m. Eastern here on Pub Sports Radio.
If you don't know, you should know, guys. It's the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. 7 straight weeks in the, what is it? Black, bonus, profit, whatever the fuck you want to call it, guys. I just ain't losing right now, guys. It just is what it is. Like I said, my worst day has been minus 1.2, and I've had a couple monster days in between them. And, if you ain't tuning in to the Bakken Dead, even just to tail me, you're going to learn some shit, guys. Like, I drop nuggets. I give you the way I break stuff down. And capping a capper is going to get you a long way. And a lot of people's been pissed off about all the nuggets I do drop off. But at the end of the day, I do this shit because I want to, not because I get paid a bunch of money. I fucking enjoy talking pitching. And I fucking love it. And I've got a spot every day on Pub Sports to do it.
I love it, Sharpie. Thank you for taking the time to jump on with us this morning.
Appreciate you for letting me come on.
Oh, our pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Keep getting that cash. Sharpie is giving us Musgrove over 5.5 Ks at minus 116. And have a great show today, my friend. And please follow him on Twitter at Sharpie's Bets. Follow him on Twitter. All right, let's roll on. And also, Justin McElvey, have a great time at the ball game tonight. Justin McElvey tailing the look, or it correlates with his capping as well, the Musgrove prop. So he's going to cap or bet the over 5.5 Ks on Musgrove and watch it in person. What a spectacular ballpark that is, PNC Park. Have a great day today.
Shout out to Three Rivers.
Yeah,
definitely tweet us that picture, Justin, as well. I said yesterday on my show that I think my favorite thing to get on Twitter is one of our cappers, low baggers, et cetera, going out to a game and sending us pictures from the game, where he's sitting, et cetera. It's awesome. I enjoy it. Wine Time does it too. Shout out to Nate Dogg and Justin. You guys have done it all. So shout out to you guys. Yeah,
it's dope. I agree. And wish we were sitting right beside you with beers in hand, man. Do it up. Have fun. All right, let's move on to the next stop on the board. It is the Detroit Tigers at Texas Rangers. Joe Yurkovich has given us a Hail Mary value shot on this one. Tigers money line and Reese Olson 8 or more strikeouts, and he's getting just under 10-1 on that spot. Roof will be closed here at Globe Life Field. Reese Olson versus John Gray. I feel like John Gray isn't the monster that he.
I have Cody Bradford here, by the way.
Oh my God. Is that why they didn't bring the line out? Because this line was not coming out forever.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I'm now realizing as well. I wrote down John Gray last night, capped it for John Gray, and I look up and I see.
Okay, cool. No, that's great. Okay, that's great. If you could pull up Bradford on a baseball reference or something to give us some insights just while I set this up here. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. They weren't dropping this line last night, so that makes a ton of sense. So let's just get. Actually, I'll just leave John Gray up there. Who cares? All right. So Reese Olson, though, he's been a pretty electrifying young pitcher. An ability to get strikeouts. 28 strikeouts through 24 2/3. I mean, that's a little bit less than his spectacular minor league numbers with strikeouts, not with ERA and WHIP, but with strikeouts. 1-2, 4.74 ERA, but does have a 1.05 WHIP here in the majors. 28 Ks and 6 walks, 4 home runs. Last start went 5 1/3 allowed, just 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, and 1 walk in a 3-2 win at home over Minnesota. The Tigers versus righties aren't hitting him. 223, 644, and the Rangers are still smashing righties. 265, 803 OPS. Rangers bullpen starting to improve here. 3.9 for ERA since June 1st, while the Tigers 4.40. Tom Leach, there's Penny Bombs in the house. Tom Leach, he just bet Sharpie's prop. Okay, dope. I thought you were asking what it was. Okay, Piker says that he would lean Olson. So he's on the better side of his splits here. Bradford, nothing special, leaning Detroit first 5. Let's take a look at the line history here for this spot. We have now with the pitching change, obviously a big move. This isn't going to help us very much, but this came out at 8:37 a.m. at minus 189. The first move was towards the Rangers. This has gone all the way down to minus 145. So a huge move based on that pitching change or the expectation of whether it be the Gray Wolf. It's too bad. I had interest in fading the Gray Wolf in some form, but I think that he is dealing with some arm fatigue He just has been laboring a bit, still doing okay. Here from a total scenario, this has gone from 10 at 8:37 in the morning down to 9. So we have a 1-run drop here. But it is a little confusing when you talk about the market when a pitching change is involved. 85% of the tickets, 74% of cash on the Rangers, 15% of tickets, 26 on the Tigers. Clearly that's sharp cash on the Tigers. Then 35% of tickets, 45% cash on the over, and yet this has dropped heavily. Rob Free says he's been all over the Rangers first 5 the entire year. He's off today. Tom Leach is on the Rangers on the run line. Piker says Caesars with a plus 130 first 5. Detroit is sort of much better than all the other books for now. And we got player props from our Spencer Penny Bombs. I'm going to copy and paste that right now. Joe Yergin says Rangers have Astros on deck. Rangers pushing their starters back for that series. Well, that makes sense. So it's not an arm fatigue issue. Well, you know what? We'll talk about that tomorrow, but I have some interest in fading John Gray here tomorrow. But let's talk about this spot here. Can you tell us a little bit about Bradford and your thoughts on this spot? Jose, take it away.
Yeah, so Cody Bradford thus far this year's last appearance was a relief appearance, but only went 2/3 of an inning, so I really can throw that out. And it was funny enough, it was against these Tigers too, but not enough bigger sample size there, so whatever, we move on. 3 starts in the majors, 4 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs. That last one was against the Braves. He pitched against 2 other good offenses in the Orioles and Angels in his other good starts. So seems capable. His minor league appearances this year, his last one was on June 9th. 8 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, one of them being, or I should say, 1 home run allowed, 5 Ks, no walks. He's not striking or not walking a lot of dudes here, and that's obviously something that you would really like to back here. But I ultimately, Jimmy, my stance about the Rangers. I think they're going to fall off and capitulate throughout the season. Unfortunately for me, I have just been on the absolute wrong sides of all this every game this series. I took the Tigers first game money line. I took the first 5 under yesterday thinking, okay, I think this Rangers offense will struggle. I know that Dane Dunning can shut down the Tigers. And of course, fucking Joey Wentz just slaps his fucking dick around all the field and 6 runs later by the Rangers, whatever. Honestly, again here, I'm still looking at the Tigers in the first 5 under. I don't know. It's one of those hesitation spots where you're like, I've lost on both of these bets already. Do I really want to make another bet here on a first 5 under? When, as Dabby Cab says in the chat, first 5 overs, especially at home for the Rangers, have been cashing. I said it on the program yesterday, and I said I'm going to be so pissed off when this bet loses because I'm going to hear Dabby Cab say first 5 overs in Ranger Stadium. Been awesome. So I think I'm passing on this game. I definitely lean Detroit money line here again, but a little gun shy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look at Cody Bradford, a 25-year-old 6th-round pick. Look at those numbers at Round Rock in the Pacific Coast League. Spectacular. I mean, unbelievable. We know what happens in the PCL League. It's thin air and lots of offense. 8-1, 1.82 ERA, 0.93 WHIP. That's very, very strong. Mally Mal says, why am I seeing an 8.5 on this total? Everything, market just crashing here towards the under. Wow. Tom Leach says, Rangers hitting so well, just bet the Rangers. So, we have action here. Billy Friedrich on that first 5 over in the full game over 9. Dabby Cab on the Rangers first 5 -1. And this spot does not appeal to me, but I'm starting to like the idea of Bradford getting the pitch against this really weak lineup. I don't think I'm going to need time to sit with it because I did not realize Bradford was going to be in. But wow. And then Stimmy saying he's big on the Tigers first 5 +0.5. So, Dabby Cab says he's not on the Rangers. Sorry, what did I copy and paste? Okay. What is this, Dabby Cab? You said sup, homies. Rangers first 5 -1.
That was yesterday, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. Please watch how we state those things, Dabby, in the chat. Shit. Say yesterday. Okay, say that. Sorry, please. That messes with us badly. Okay, let's move on then. Nothing for either Jose and I there. Let's move on. Piker, we did talk about the cash, but it is tricky here. With the pitching change but clearly there was huge bets. I don't know. I don't know what to say about 15% of the tickets, 26% of cash on the Tigers here, and I don't want to be involved. So let's roll on. Let's roll on to the next spot here on the board. When we get to a spot where, Jose, I can imagine that you would know that I would want to bet the first 5 under with these two old timers on the hill, and I can't do it. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. The Cleveland Guardians 39-40, 19-21 on the road. The Kansas City Royals 22-58, 10-30 at home. Tone Miggins levels play of the day. Cleveland money line minus 165. I have been staring at. I stopped. I realized that this was just not a situation I could bet, but I was looking at this a lot last night. Very interesting here. So let's pull this up and discuss the spot. First off, let's roll here with the weather. 90 Fahrenheit. Feels like 97. 8 miles per hour in. This has changed dramatically, this weather. It was expected to be hotter today. Now it'll feel like 102. But when I was looking at this last night, they said it would feel like 105 to 106 to 107. So it's getting a little bit cooler. The heat was something that did concern me about these old timers. So let's move on to what they're expecting here at Ballpark Pal here for Kauffman Stadium. Minus 1% homers, minus 9% doubles, triples, plus 21 singles, and plus 12% runs. That's gone down. That's a little bit less offensive as it looked here. A little bit less offensive. So we have Bieber going up against Greinke, and we know that Greinke's splits are important. Greinke's splits, he's terrible on the road, and he's decent at home. This total opened up at 8.5 at Pinnacle yesterday at 4 p.m. It was juiced to the over, and I was staring at it all day. It moved to 9 at 10:30, minus 117 to the under. It's still at 9 and minus 115 to the under. I do want to touch on the first 5 because I was very interested in backing these guys. And we have this total opening up at 5, minus 120 to the under. And it just started moving to the over. It was moving to the over all night last night, with small increments, but it was doing it. The over had opened up over 5 at plus 105, and it got to minus 103. It was even money at midnight. It got to minus 103 this morning. And right now it's at even money. So not a very slight move to the over first 5 and a real move to the over full game. From a money line perspective here, let's go to the full game for it here. We have Bieber opening up at minus 156 all the way down to minus 4 or 141. We've even had 9 cents of movement in the last 37 minutes towards the Royals. A legit move towards the Royals. Now 15 cents since the opening line. So we have a move to the Royals and a very slight move to the over. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. 24% of the tickets, 41% of cash on the Royals. They're a very difficult team to back, but there's sharp action on them. 72% of tickets and 82% of cash on the under. I really, really wish the market was showing some concern and I'd be on it. I just can't do it here. Spenny Pennybomb says they're expecting Greinke to go 5.4 innings with 2.6 earned runs and 3.4 strikeouts. Joey Harb on the over 4.5. And Rob Free says Bieber is hard to trust at this number. Bieber 5-5, 3.69 ERA. So here, this is the big thing for this is that both of these pitchers in their last 2 starts have been lit up and destroyed. You know who else was lit up and destroyed in their last 2 starts? Domingo Germán. I have this weird thing about pitchers who have had 2 great starts in a row or 2 bad starts in a row. It just feels like that third one does not come and it flips. But I don't want to just say those things based on feeling when I don't have numbers to to back up that. But his last start at home versus the Brewers was bad. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 8 Ks, 2 walks. His last 2 starts have been against the Diamondbacks and the Brewers. This is Bieber. 12 in the third, 12 hits, 9 earned runs, and 4 jacks. On the road, he's not been very good this year. 1-3, 4.58 ERA, 277 opponent's batting average. He's allowed 10 home runs over 57 innings. Then we get to Greinke. In his last 2 starts against the Angels and the Rays, 2 formidable lineups, he's gone 9 2/3, allowed 17 hits, 11 earned runs, and 3 jacks. His last start was at Tampa. He got lit up 4 2/3, 7 earned runs. He's got a 5.31 ERA, a 1.23 WHIP, and at home he's much better. At home, he's thrown 43 innings. He's got a 3.77 ERA, 32 strikeouts, 6 walks, excellent K to walk ratio. He's only allowed 6 home runs in 43 innings, and he's a 271 opponent's batting average. When I sit here with these stats, I think that the Royals are live here. I do. Do I want to go up against Tone Miggins? Absolutely not. Now, Tone Miggins is a full game bet here with his play of the day. Guardians versus righties, 292, 783 OPS. Royals versus righties since June 1st, just 233, 667. And the Guardians bullpen has been so much better than the Royals bullpen. Take it away for us here, Jose Bouquett, Guardians, Royals.
I have a question real quick. So why aren't you on the under?
Well, these last 2 starts concern me very much from both pitchers. Bieber's road starts concern me very much. And if I'm going to sit here and say, oh, my best pitcher in this game is Zach Greinke, well, then I don't, look. So why, if this is such a sharp play, why are the books showing no concern? Why? Why in the world would the books not be moving it towards the under if we're sitting here and seeing 72% of the tickets and 82% of the cash on the under? I mean, if I can't answer these questions, how can I put my hard-earned fucking money on the spot? This is the spot I wanted to bet more than anyone else. I would love to sit back and watch Bieber and Greinke pitch and have a stake in the war, but I can't here. Now I'm starting to think maybe KC first 3 is the spot. Joe Yurkovich also talking about 100 degrees. I want to hear your breakdown. Take it away.
Yeah, I thought the under too. If I'll be honest, I really thought that the under could be in play here. My general recipe with an under is just a good pitcher that I know can shut down one lineup, hold them down to 0 runs, maybe 1, and then hope for the best on the other side, I guess. But I just can't get there, I guess, either. If you Jimmy the Bag are not betting this first 5 under here, even though you want to, then I certainly can't feel confident. There we go. Or comfortable enough to make it as well. Like you mentioned, 72% of bets, 82% of the money on the under here. And it's interesting that the Royals are, almost 50-50 market or money wise for the money line, excuse me. 24%, 41% of the bets were money. But yeah, I don't know. I can't get to this game either. Greinke on an 8-game losing streak. The Guardians are 4th right now in the last 10 days against righties, 137 weighted runs created plus, which was shocking to say. So I guess I just pass on this game, but I definitely leaned under, thinking that both these pitchers could at least have a decent bounce back start here. By the way, Zach Greinke home run splits this year are as funny as you would think. A 3 ERA at home, not the best, not the worst, but a 7 ERA on the road. So pretty funny still.
North Ender locked in the first 5 under 5. Dav Fenn's all over this over. Bankroll Spence says Royals lineup's awful today. Can't play with Ibel, Taylor, and Waters playing. Tom Leach says Greinke is trash. Jay's final take says KC is the sharp play. And Wine Time says 16% of the bets, 60% of the money on the Royals. Barry Smith on Royals money line. And Bankroll Spence says the Royals owner had the press conference about the new stadium this morning, called the team dog shit in theory. Might be some motivation. Browns Hughes says if you watch Bieber's last start against the Brewers, he shut them down to the 6th. Tito always leaves them in too long to save the pen. I watch his team daily, Jim. Also, Tito is managing it. Yeah, we know that he's sick or, was in the hospital. Rob Free says Royals will have to show me they can win games at home. He's taking Guardians -145. Joe Yurkin says touch to pitch in extreme heat. So Justin McAfee says Guardians team total over 4.5 is on his card. Piker says under or nothing here. Doesn't match the market. Need a better price to take the Royals regardless of the market. I kept this one on the nose. No dog value in his opinion. And you guys know I've been pushing hard on you guys to take the Guardians to win the division. We got in at plus 380. Even money today. Plus it was plus 140 before yesterday. Plus 100 today. And I don't know why it was plus 140 even yesterday, because I've looked at the schedules. And just before the All-Star break, the Twins have a much harder schedule than the Guardians. I would like to be 3 games up or 2.5 games up by the All-Star break for my Guardians action. Joe Yerger says pitch clock as well with the Heat. That's a really, really good point. Really good point. And Dav Fence says all he needs one of these chumps to have a bad inning for 3 or 4 runs. Bullpens aren't great either. Over. The only thing I would do here is I would take the Royals early, and I don't want to. I don't want this shit baseball team, and there's enough for me. Look, when we come to the pitchers that I like, and they're generally older, shitty pitchers, I want to bet on them. I'm trying to bet on them, but I can't bet on them here. So, all right. Tom Leach says never let the money move you off a winner. Well, then I should bet the Royals, Tom Leach, and Greinke, who you think is trash. So then the money would. Okay, but let's move on. Let's move on.
Good note from Troy Torrance, by the way. So when 70% of the money is on the under, 70+% of the money on the under, and the total doesn't move, and it closes at 9, under is 9 and 6 there. So. Yeah,
no, I'm so excited with this database growing that Troy Torrance has. But I hear you, Tom. And look, this show is about us working together, and everybody's going to have different looks and different angles. What matters is that we're in the black come the season ending, and we did that last year very comfortably, and we're going to do that again this year. And it's not happening yet, but we're down to single digits negative. And all right. Let's roll. That is Guardians Royals and no action for me. Let's move on to 3:37 p.m. Eastern. New York Yankees 44-36, 19-17 on the road at the Oakland A's, 21-61, 10-30 at home at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Here's another pitcher that I've started to believe in. And
well, the first off, Jim, who's your pitcher for the A's? Because I had Caprillion last night, and now I have it. No listed pitchers, but they still have the odds up.
We have Hogan Harris as the expected pitcher here.
Okay.
Let me just see if
I had Caprillion last night, so I
it
was wrong.
Yeah, no, I had Caprillion as well, but Hogan Harris is here listed at RotoWire and on the books.
Okay, cool.
So the books have Hogan Harris, and I don't have him capped or set here. So
I'll look him up right now. No worries.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for doing that. But it's Clark Schmidt who I'm talking about. When these pitchers, when I believe that their numbers are worse or better than they really are, I know we have an advantage. I could have made a lot more money off the Jaime Barria feel that I had, but at least I made money off of it. His numbers were so good, and he's not that guy. Here, I think Clark Schmidt is better than his numbers indicate, and I've been saying that all season long. 2-6, 4.32 ERA, 1.42 WHIP. Now has 76 Ks in 77 innings, 23 walks, and 11 home runs. Coming off 4-2 extra inning loss at home versus the Rangers, he did not allow an earned run against a tough Texas Rangers team. 5 1/3, 3 Ks, 1 walk, but he was getting soft contact. He's not been very good on the road, but let's pull up, those road games that he's had and have a better idea of what's been happening to him of late. Because, the first time we really saw it was in Seattle a while back, where he was just absolutely unhittable on the road. Now it's easier to be unhittable against the Seattle Mariners than some teams, but look who he's going up against here, the Oakland A's. The question is the price going to be right? His last road start, he allowed 2 earned runs over 4 2/3 at Boston, but that was the second straight time he was facing Boston, and that's tough, man. It's tough facing a lineup twice in a row. Overall, he faced them for 10 innings and allowed 3 earned runs. That's fine. At Seattle, he didn't allow a run Only 3 hits over 5 2/3. At Cincinnati, at Great America Ballpark, and against that lineup, he allowed just 2 earned runs over 5 innings. I think Clark Schmidt is bet on. The problem is that you're facing an Oakland A's team that's terrible, and you're never going to get a price against them. 67 Fahrenheit, 6.4 miles per hour out to center. Go over to Ballpark Pal here, and we have minus 10% home runs, minus 3% doubles and triples, minus 3% singles, minus 8% runs. This is the least offensive expectation of any ballpark here today. So let's take a look at the line history and the cash flow, and then decide if there's anything that we can do. There was no line available for a long time, which said something was up, and it was obviously Caprillion. This came out at 10:30 this morning, and since then there's been a 3-cent move to the Oakland A's. So 3 cents of movement to the Oakland A's. Let's get up the – where the hell is it? Jesus, I have too many things open. I'll switch this over here. Let's go over to the total for this one. We have it opening up at 8 at Penny. Opening up at 8, as I said, at 10:30 this morning. It's still at 8. 2-cent move to the over. Gifted Cartel says Yankees third game after win is 10-6. A's third game after loss 2-15. Rob Free says Yankees made history yesterday. Potential flat spot today. I don't see this A's team. I could see the A's team continuing to not be able to hit. The question is, now we have Hogan Harrison again. We have a lefty on the mound. Jay's final take says Yanks are not scoring over 5 again today. So let's go over to the cash flow. I imagine this will do little to help us, just because there's so few tickets. Now 2,649 tickets in. 60% of tickets, 51% of cash on the under. So that's interesting. And then money line wise, 85% of tickets, 91% of cash on the Yankees. The line not moving towards the Yankees. Mr. Lewis on the Yankees run line. Brown Watson watched that perfect game last night. Gifted Cartel says under. Take it away for us here. Joe Yurkovich on the A's team total over first 3 team total over a half after being perfected upon. And respect, Tom, my man. No, never beef. No, this is part of the fun. And thank you. He says, tries to Captain. Thank you. It's fun having cappers who have different ways of getting to their answer. And I never felt any. I always thought that you were just trying to help and support, Tom. I've always felt that. Brad Somersault says the Yankees smash again. Take it away for us here, Jose. Yankees A's.
Oh, I froze. Sorry. You're cutting in and out for me, so I'm going to restart my computer real quick after this game.
Okay.
3 things real quick. One, one of the dumbest tweets I've ever seen on the Twitter machine by our own MMA locker room Mills. Our guy T celebrating. I watched the no-hitter perfect game live. Mills responds to T's tweet underneath, "You're in New York?" So shout out to Mills, who I don't know where the fuck his has at, because he apparently thinks these games are in New York. 2, couldn't have happened to a worse human being, Domingo Germán, who, again, let's not forget, abused his girlfriend at a Yankees charity event, so we don't forget that. And he's a cheater, and he has to wipe his hands off after every inning because he's a cheater. And 3, the Oakland A's are a AAA ball club, so who the fuck cares? But let's get to this game, Jim. I was exceedingly angry at this point in my night, because it's not often that you bet an under and a team throws a perfect game and you don't cash the under still. It's very annoying. I would like to throw my computer off a building and throw myself down with it as well. But here I am, Jim. Here I am yet again betting a first 5 under on these fucking teams. Clark Schmidt been fine this year. Again, this is just another recipe for me. A pitcher that I think can shut down the other lineup, and then we'll fucking hope for the best from Hogan Harris. So I believe in Hogan Harris's ability to get some outs here. The Yankees out celebrating, doing their thing yesterday after the perfect game. I actually looked up, someone had a question, I just Googled it real quick. The record of teams after a no-hitter, and this is from 2019, so old, but apparently they're 25-19 to the under there, 25 unders, 19 overs, in 18 and 27 straight up record after you get no hit there as well. So that's from 2019. Obviously, there have been a couple more today as well. So I'm going to be on the first 5 under here, and it's going to make me extremely angry when this Yankees lineup just continues to figure out what they're doing against shitty offense or shitty pitchers. But I just don't believe in their abilities here. So first 5 under for me.
First 5 under. Let's line shop for you. Let's also get a better idea of what Hogan Harris has done lately. This was a pitching change, and because of it, we don't have much up. He started 2 games this year. He's made. Sorry, here we go. He started 2 games this year. He's made 7 appearances, throwing 33 innings.
He's been better out of the bullpen as a follower. His 2 good starts have been coming off of someone piggybacking on, so that's not ideal as well that he's starting here. But I believe in Hogan, and I was supposed to touch on him, so thank you. But his last outing, I should call it because it wasn't a start, was not good because 4 walks, 6 Ks is just not ideal.
His last start, though, was quite good here at home against Philadelphia. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks, no walks.
Yeah, it's just you can look at his K to walks and you can just see how his outings go. If he's walking dudes, obviously it's not going well. And admittedly, I do like backing pitchers coming off of a higher walk performance because they'll obviously be more inclined to not want to do that again. That's probably been touched upon many, many times. It's like one of the biggest things in baseball right now as a pitcher. Do not walk dudes because it'll come back and bite you in the ass. So I'm hoping he pitches well here and gets more contact there.
Wash Redskin says, no need to overthink it. New York Yankees. I kind of like your under. I would like to get more information, though, from the marketplace here. So I like where you're at with the first 5 under. Judging from Hogan Harris's last start against the tough Philly squad, I mean, he's comfortable here at this ballpark, and he should be okay. We don't have a lot of options here for you. The best line we can give you is the under 4.5 minus 115 at Pinnacle.
Cool. That sounds good. I was about to say I'm refreshing Bet Online, and I don't have it up yet, but Bovada had it up there. Again, no pitchers listed still.
So, Londo, I have interest in the first 5 under. I still have concerns about the A's bullpen. And Joe Yergman says Schmidt pitched against Oakland earlier this year. I think Oakland can scratch a couple off him today. I'm going to look into this one further. This is not at this point. At this point, I'm not going to be throwing darts here. I need to sit here a little longer. Jose had a plan with this game, and he's acting on it. I didn't, and so. But I get your look. I have 2 games that I've bet. I had 0 coming into yesterday's show and only ended up with 4 bets. I stick to this idea of taking what the league gives you. And so there's been days when I've had 17, 18 bets and days when I've had 4 and I'm not going to push it or force it. So let's keep rolling here. Let's keep rolling. 3:40 p.m. Eastern. Next up for us, Tampa Bay Rays at Arizona Diamondbacks. Jose, is it back working again, or did you need to bounce for a bit?
Oh, yeah. I'll restart real quick.
Okay. Tampa Bay Rays 55-28, 21-18 on the road at the Arizona Diamondbacks, 48-33, 24-19 at home at Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. This is going to be, of course, a roof closed situation here. By the way, Mark Schillingberg says, what up, Pub Sports family? Air quality's total shite here in Pittsburgh, but it doesn't seem to affect the players last night. Hoping to see a sweep today. Musgrove pitches real well for us though. Mark Schillingberg in the house. Thank you for sharing that with us. Mark. Billy Friedrich says, can't wait until we get the Fott-Snell pitching matchup. And by the way, North End leading strong to the Oakland first 5 team total over 1.5. Gift the Cartel says Yankees haven't been putting up runs this month. I'm supposed to trust them again because they beat up the A's. No, I get it, Gift the Cartel. I feel you, man. But let's talk about Yanni Chirinos and Brandon Pfaadt here. First off, Chirinos is coming off getting lit up and smoked by, of all teams, the Kansas City Royals in his last start. It was at home. He's been much better on the road than he's been at home this year. Throwing 48 in the third. I don't know what to do with a pitcher like Yonny Chirinos. The Rays are trying to start him because he can't get strikeouts. You can't have a guy in the pen who can't come in and get you a strikeout when you need in like a high leverage situation. So what is Yonny Chirinos? He's just like a low leverage inning eater. He's thrown 48 in the third innings. He has 23 strikeouts and 16 walks. I mean, that just doesn't work out of the pen, So they're starting him here. On the road, he's been quite good, 2.79 ERA. But look at that, 14 Ks to 10 walks. Now he's only allowed 2 jacks, 212 opponent batting average, so he gets soft contact. Going up against Brandon Pfaadt. The question for Brandon Pfaadt is, when are we going to see his high level potential? It could be, really at any time. He's come from Bellarmine University, and in Reno, an extremely difficult spot to pitch. He was excellent this year in the Pacific Coast League. 5-1, 3.53 ERA, 1.12 WHIP. 58 strikeouts to 11 walks in 51 innings, and at some point he's going to show us. Now he hasn't here, obviously. 8 point. He's had 5 starts in the majors this year. He's only gone 23 2/3. He's allowed 31 hits. He's just having a tough time. Jacqueline, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. And it's tough. It's tough when you deal with a pitcher who is highly thought of, who has been struggling mightily. His last start was at home versus the Red Sox. Again, he got touched up. 8 hits over 3 2/3, 5 earned runs. He's a real. These younger pitchers who've struggled early are tricky. Now, sometimes we'll have cappers who know the pitcher very well, like Gavin Williams. Gavin Williams of the Tribe. He had that first terrible start. You heard Nicholas Earl speak extremely highly of his stuff. Can't wait to watch him pitch. First round pick from the Guardians. They're a pitching factory. And then you had Sharpie saying, I'm on his over K-propping in the second start. I'm all over him. And we cashed on the first 3 under 2.5 in the first 5. Under 5, that first 3 under 2.5 was plus 115. We made money off of it. When is he going to step up here? Markel says these games are fucking shit or shitty. Look, I love bum fights and shit games. I love talking all games, man. I could do this with the minor league games if there was no Major League Baseball. We could just sit here and break down these minor league games. But I feel you, Markel. It's not a good-looking card. All right, so let's take a look at the line history here for this one and the cash flow and decide if there is a move to make. First off, let's move over to the cash and go over the full game. Sorry, first 5 up and discuss it. We have the Diamondback. Oh my God, it's not even Chirinos. Is Chirinos the primary?
Yeah, he's a primary.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so Chirinos is a primary, so that still works, but then Zach Lill starting against Pfaadt. So the Diamondbacks have gone from plus 103 to minus 109. I don't think this is a situation where you're like Little and Chirinos are that vulnerable. I think that the market or the syndicates or the models think that Pfaadt is now capable of showing why he was a highly thought of pitcher and what he did in Reno. And are the Rays the lineup to do that against? I don't know, but at least he's at home. This total's also dropped. This total opened up at 10.5. It's now at 10. So, oh no, it did not. Sorry, it opened at 10.5 at some offshores. It did not open up at 10.5 at Pinnacle because it didn't come out till 9:30 this morning. Okay, so we have a move to the Diamondbacks and we have a move to Arizona. I think that Chirinos is not good. But, you got to trust everything the Rays do with pitchers. So you got to trust them implicitly. And let's take a look at where the cash is. And I don't think there'll be much cash in this one. There is 6,445 tickets in. 52% of tickets, 69% of cash on the Rays. Market moving quite quickly towards the Diamondbacks. 45% of tickets, 75% cash on the under. Take it away, Jose. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Rays, Diamondbacks.
I'm sure you mentioned how Pfaadt got pulled down, and you love how pitchers, when they get pulled down and they get called back up, they want to stay in the majors, et cetera, et cetera. Very Kyle Bradish-esque. as you would say. So shout out to him. Yeah, Fott was the guy they kicked off Mason Saunders for this team. So I respect Brandon Fott. I don't really want to back him, to be honest, but it does, like, I don't know. It makes me lean towards an under here, I guess. Both the offenses have been great. We obviously know full season, 1st and 6th against righties. Last 2 weeks, last 10 days, 7th, 123 weighted runs created plus for the Rays, 12th, 113th for the Diamondbacks. So still good, but the market here as well, it just tells me under. 45% of the bets, 75% of the money on the under. Makes me lean under here as well. So I lean under here, Jim. I just haven't made a move on it yet. Trusting Chirinos is kind of scary, especially when you gave up 8 earned runs to the Royals last time out. So,
yeah, Maui Mal making me laugh with his. He's whole clown.
Not half clown, whole clown.
Whole clown's gonna get it's catchy. I would like to back a Fott here, and I'm surprised that I'm saying that.
The line is weird,
I mean, I can't put much of vig on it. I would love the first 3, but that's minus 125. So then we have to go to that first 5. That's minus 120. That's just too expensive. It's just too expensive. But I am interested in it. I think that this is one of those spots where, you spoke on it about Fott being in the minors for 6 weeks or 5.5 weeks, and he's been so good down there. Now he gets another chance here at home. Stimmy's on the Diamondbacks. I think that Fott is worth backing here, but I just do not want a cent of vig if I'm going to back this guy. That's the problem. And minus 120 is way too expensive. Why is it minus 1? What is it at Pinnacle? Let's just check out what's that at Pinnacle, because that's a really expensive spot here. But you know what? You want it to be a little more expensive. If you're backing aside first 5, you do kind of. I mean, you don't. It's not that you want it, but you want to see the books show concern on that bet. First half, Diamondbacks is or full game is minus 110. Wow, it's minus 119. I guess Fott's going to throw. I think they're screaming that Fott's going to throw.
Yeah, and I like the under. I don't know why I don't want to back Fott. I guess I just have trust issues. But we'll see here.
Can you pull up, if you don't mind, the Rays weighted runs created versus lefties in the last 2 weeks or more, whatever you would prefer?
Yes. Yeah, it could take me 1 second because I just had to restart real quick. But I will tell you, you want specifically
lefties against the Rays over the last 2 weeks.
All right. Last 2 weeks, I can tell you specifically, and there might not be that many at-bats, so we might have to lengthen it. Only 66 at-bats, but 55 weighted runs created plus is extremely low. Is Brandon Fott a lefty? Brandon Fott's a righty.
Oh, he's a righty. Why did I think he was a lefty? Thank you. Jesus.
Yeah,
my bad. So it doesn't even matter. So, okay, my bad. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking he was a lefty. Okay. So against righties, 263, 753 OPS. But look at this lineup with the issues and injuries that the Rays are facing. Diaz, Franco, Lau. I mean, we know that's really tough in a Rosarena. Then Paredes, Rayleigh, Siri, Walls, Betancourt. It's not quite as strong as we remember. I'm going to take a shot with Fott here. Joe here is it as a half clown move. Thinking he was lefty. Right.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to back the Diamondbacks. First 5 at home here, and expect Fott to throw. But I am going to put a couple question marks here. I do want a little bit more time here, but that is my expectation. At this point, I don't even have any action in the afternoon. So, all right, let's move on. Brandon Fott going to be back here, and Mr. Lewis saying no.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about all the mean names people said to Brandon Fott throughout the years. Just his last name is just wild to me, and everyone enjoys when I say Brandon Fott, apparently. So,
and there's Wine Time Sports, perfect timing. Wine time. Perfect timing. Wine time saying, stoked for this game, fellas. We're about to talk about this game right now. We can move the heading over to White Sox Angels. Heading out to Angel Stadium shortly. I'm going to go to the Golden Road Brewery before with the boys.
Wow.
Yeah,
exactly. We literally just said wow at the same time because we know.
That's the kind of life I want. I want that life.
Send us the pictures.
I want to be right there with you guys. Angels money line minus 130 says, I don't think the White Sox can hit Sandy. What Sandy do we get is the question. Let's break this down. Chicago White Sox 35, 47, 15, 27 on the road at the LA Angels 44 and 38, 22 and 17 at home. We're at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. We have the Bulldog Lance Lynn on the hill. So there's two pitchers here that can't get lefties out. One, Lance Lynn, who's been a little bit better against lefties of late, and the other, Chris Bassett, who we will talk about here. And I listened to a radio show on just Chris Bassett for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and all the things going on with him. So, and I'm on the first 5 over 5 in that spot, Giants, Jays, and I'm interested in even adding to some action there. But here we have Lance Lynn, who lefties are hitting 350 and have a 1.057 whip against them. And the last time, oh wow, Rob Free talking about Yankees partying here last night. The last time that Lance Lynn faced the Angels, we had Sharpie tell us that the Angels will stack the lineup with lefties and smash Lance Lynn. That's exactly what they did. But here, if you look at their expected lineup, which I know is wrong, there's what? Ohtani and Moustakas with Escobar, a switch hitter, are the only lefties in the lineup. But we've seen this already play out where the Angels will stack with lefties. Vital says top play Angels first 5. And Spenny says Trout hits Lynn as well, too. So looked at him, too. And so we have player prop action here from Spenny Penny Bombs. Luis Robert, homer, and RBI. Shohei Ohtani, homer and RBI. And the Moose, Mike Moustakas, homer at plus 550. So let's go here. First, let's do the weather in Anaheim. We have 74 Fahrenheit, 9.3 miles per hour out to right center. Gets up to 10.1 miles per hour. Let's go over to Ballpark Pal and see what they think of Anaheim Angel Stadium. Plus 8% homers, minus 6% doubles and triples, and 0% change. So just a regular old day here. Justin McElvey has the over 9 on his card. Robert Franklin has Angels money line and the over. And there's Goggles in the house. What up, Goggles? And wow, the run line calculator site shut down.
Oh, say it ain't so. Son of a bitch. I just pulled it up.
I've got mine up still.
So don't hit refresh. Don't hit refresh ever.
Okay. Well, I've got that's not going to work. At some point, I'm going to lose
just restarted my computer too and closed it. That's son of a bitch. That sucks. Whatever. That's
okay. But Ron Crawford says, "Let me know and I'll give you the formula." Okay.
Man, I cannot do math, Ron.
Well, we need to. I think we should have a run line or -1 calculator on our website. So can you keep that note of that and let's get Sean to build one on our website?
Yeah, hey, Rod, send me the formula and I'll send it to Sean and then we'll get to rocking and roll on that. That is hilarious.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Let's get that up on our website. Okay, so back to this spot here. Not expecting a ton of offense weather-wise. So let's take a look at the line history here. For the total, Lynn versus Sandoval, this has been moving towards the over. In fact, it's gone up to 9.5 many times. This opened up yesterday at 4:03 p.m., juice to the under. Got up to 9.5 at noon, then back down to 9, up to 9.5, and it just dropped to 9 4 minutes ago. So a definite move to the over here. Definite move to the over. And let's go over to the cash flow here. Jesus, where the hell is it? Sorry, I got too many things up here. And that's Pinnacle. This is annoying. Let's go find the cash flow here. Here we go. The cash flow money line here for this spot. Full game. We have a huge, huge move to the Chicago White Sox. 20-cent move to the White Sox, and it just keeps moving towards them. Wow. Now, this is not the first time we've had this huge move towards them, by the way. There was a 20-cent move towards the White Sox at 8:48 a.m. this morning, and then it bounced back. There was buyback on the Angels. That's it. So we have a 20-cent move on the White Sox, and we have a move to the over. That's pretty wild shit. Let's see if we have the cash flow that correlates with all this. We have 31% of the tickets and 44% of the cash on the White Sox. You have 28% of tickets, 41% cash on the under, and yet it's going up. So that's tricky. Telling me that the White Sox are sharp here. That is tricky.
The White Sox are sharp?
Yes. Saturated said the -1 calculator just to hedge on the run line using the money line. Yeah, you have to bet enough on the money line to cover your bet.
Yeah, it's like double, basically, is what I've realized.
It's closer to double. Some people think it's 50-50. It's definitely not that. Londo says, do you like the White Sox team total over? This was not on my radar, Londo, until I'm seeing this now. So let's discuss the pitchers here. We talked about Lance Lynn. He's coming off 5-4 win at home versus the Red Sox. That came on the heels of the 16 strikeout game. 5 2/3, 3 earned runs. He's certainly pitching better. But on the road, he's got a 5.79 ERA, which is much better than his home ERA. With a 261 opponent's batting average. Sandoval, on the other hand, is pitching really well. We saw it 2 starts ago against my guy, Brady Singer. He shut down the Royals, completely shut him down. And then he goes into Colorado and pitches decent. 5 innings, 10 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 Ks, 1 walk in the thin air there. And that was his first start in Colorado. I see a pitcher pitching well right now. Ron Crawford says you can do 66 and 34. It's almost perfect. I'm going to copy and paste that. I didn't realize that was almost perfect.
Rob Free, you about gave me a heart attack, Rob Free. Thank you for that being fake.
Mike M says White Sox are 0-18 straight up, 117 on the run line versus non-NL West opponents in the last game of the series if their opponent starter was a favorite last start. He says this is an Angels and an under spot for him. So I agree with you guys that Patrick Sandoval is pitching much better. And the White Sox are not hitting lefties at all. Since June 1st, 206, 585 OPS. And Angels are smashing righties, 273, 859 OPS. And we already saw the Angels destroy Lance Lynn once before. Both bullpens are pitching well. This is a tough one. Take it away, Jose. White Sox, Angels.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the middle, unfortunately, here again. I like Angels team total. Angels first 5 team total over 2.5 here. Lance Lynn, like you mentioned, he had 8 earned runs in his last start against these guys. Could just cut that down to half. Cut down to half, and I'll be fine still. 2.5 is -110 right now for that first 5 innings. It's obviously concerning that the sharps are on the White Sox here. Lance Lynn pitching better, but I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. You mentioned the batter versus pitcher there a little bit. But Moustakas, Ohtani, and Trout all have 3 home runs off the dude. And I would really just appreciate if all of them were playing here. And there was a little bit of scuttlebutt in the chat talking about if all of them are going to play, like Ohtani, etc. But I do expect all of them to play here. And I like the Angels here. First 5 team total over 2.5 here. And I got it -110 at Bet Online, I believe it was. And again, we'll keep saying this throughout the shows. If you need a book, you're at a place that doesn't have legal gambling like Texas, go to our website, pubsportsradio.com. You'll see the Bet Online links there, or the logos. Click on that. Take you to the right sign-up page. Sign up. It'll let them know that we sent you, and you'll get a deposit match up to $1,000, 100% as well. So like I've been saying, maybe you throw in a $500 in there, feeling good about yourself, a quick 1,000 in your account now to gamble your heart's desire out. So shout out to Bet Online. As always.
Also, we are starting our poker tournaments, our summer poker tournaments here on Pub Sports Radio that will be on Bet Online. And we haven't exactly figured out how many prizes, but not only will the top people get cash, but they're also going to get free entry into our Cappers contest, NFL Cappers contest. So
God, every time we mention the Cappers contest, I just get re-depressed. one click away from fucking $1,000, and I just am too much of a fucking big slap fucking donkey. And by the way, shout out to Saturated, a legend of the poker game there for us.
Yeah, he was great. Wasn't he awesome? Ron Crawford says this was the play of the day, but minus 150 now. Minus 150 now. What's what am
Oh, I guess Troy wasn't around for last year. He doesn't know what the Cappers contest is.
Oh yeah, no, that'll be dope.
The real question is, Jimmy, two questions about that. One, for the poker tournaments, are we doing our lovely live streams again?
Yes, we are.
The hang out with us and play poker live streams. That was fun last time as well. And of course, the Cappers contest show. A great collaboration by us two.
Well, we don't know if we're doing that again this year. I can't do that again.
Jimmy Mussolini out here taking away votes from people. I forgot about that. That was God.
I hear you, Ron. That makes a ton of sense. Was minus 150, now minus 121. So the Angels were the play of the day, but with the 30-cent move, he got off of it.
That's tough. I would stick with my bet. You know, I'll take Angels team total, like I said, first 5. I don't trust Patrick Sandoval. I'm just solely focusing on bats here. So I'm going over. Or sorry, team total over, I should say.
I can't do it with the Sharps on Lance Lynn. Clearly, he's a different pitcher. I think Sandoval is a different pitcher. I think that if this market wasn't moving towards the over, I'd be on the under. But I don't need to force things here. And for those of you like Troy or people who weren't around for our Cappers contest show last year, we would let the audience pick our actions. So it's very public bets we made, and so we lost badly.
Oh my gosh!
That's what happens in the NFL when you bet with the public, you lose badly, and I can't do that again. It
was so bad because we would just be like, "Don't pick this side," and it'd have like 80% of the bets, and I know we just lose. And we're like, "Fuck us."
Mike great. M says market's moving the right way in his opinion. Look, I get that. If you love the Angels here, and now you're getting a much better price on it, I get it. All right, let's move on to the next ball on the board for us. 6:10 p.m. Eastern, Miami Marlins 47-34, 22-18 on the road at the Boston Red Sox, 40-41, 21-20 at home. Fenway Park in Boston. Your Red Sox now a game under 500. Let's take a look at the weather here in Boston. 76 Fahrenheit, 6 miles per hour, right out to the green monster. Goes down to 5.6. Let's go over to the the Ballpark Pal and see what they think of the ballpark factors mixed with the lineup. Minus 3% home runs, plus 29 doubles and triples. We've seen this all week when the wind's blowing out to the monster. Plus 14% runs, though. This is the second highest. It's above Kauffman and below Coors Field. So Rocco Rogers, Red Sox, first 5, minus 110. And Mike, so again, we all use different ways to track the market. And Mike prefers to use, like the FanDuel, DraftKings type thing. And there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's a gray area, just whatever works for you. And so, that's all. And I respect it here. Ramon Scott says, feels like the move is going to be based on Angel stars possibly resting with just no indication yet. That could be it, couldn't it? Jose, that's the reason why the move is.
Yeah, 100%. Ohtani, the greatest player of all time, casually hits 10 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Maybe he deserves a day off or 2 here.
Vitalis, I do expect to have just one afternoon bet, sadly, and that will be the Diamondbacks first 5 and backing Brandon Pfaadt. All right, let's talk. But yeah, so that's it. That's it. There's no questions here. Spenny Penny Bob says he's taking Adam Duvall home run purely off the market. He's not usually listed at plus 280 for a home run. I think the books are telling us something here. And Mike M loving Arizona first 5. I love that. All right, so and there's Ricky Bobby in the house. Says I may be late, but did the Padres game get delayed? No, not that I know of. So let's go here and hammer this. Let's go. Marlins, Red Sox, Luzardo against Bayo here. I was surprised when I saw this total. Very, very surprised when I saw this total. Now it's juiced to the under, and now we see some 8.5s. this opened up at 9 and went immediately to 9. And I guess not immediately, but it took 5 hours. So it opened up at 4:06 p.m. at 9. By 9:49 p.m., it was at 9.5. So it was at 9.5 until 4 this morning when it went to 9. Then dropped 8.5 back to 9. The 9's juiced heavy to the under. So all of a sudden now we have 20 cents of market move to the under, which is crazy to me. It really, really is crazy to me because, oh, cool. Beautiful, Ron. It's crazy to me because you look at Bayo and you look at Luzardo and you automatically think under. Now the public has come in and taken it to the under, but all that first action on the over was wild. Oh, wow. Look at that. Fopatashi says delayed due to poor air quality. Yeah, you guys have got what we had yesterday. We're clear now. We're almost fully clear. Wow. So good call. So we have Luzardo up against Bayo, a move now to the under that I don't trust, and I'm never going to. When I see I care more about that early move than the late move, personally. In fact, Dennis Garcia would always fade the late move and had great success doing it. From a money line standpoint, I could not understand this huge move to Luzardo. Look, I know that the Marlins are a better baseball team than the Red Sox, but I think Bayo is rolling right now. This was an immediate move to the Marlins. It's been a nonstop move to the Marlins. Right now, we are only talking 9 cents, but this was a double-digit move for most of the day. So we have a move to the Marlins and now a move to the under that I don't trust, even though I initially wanted the under like everybody else. Like everybody else, my gut said under. 67% of tickets and 85% of the cash is on the Red Sox. I do not want to fade Bayo under any circumstances. 63% of the tickets, 62% of the cash on the under. This is all really uncomforting. I'm telling you, really, really uncomforting. Luzardo's last start was a thing of beauty, but we've seen what he's been doing on the road. It's been terrible. So his last start at home against Pittsburgh, he's spectacular. 7 innings, no earned runs, 9 Ks, 1 walk. On the road, over 36 and 30s, a 5.45 ERA, and opponents are hitting 309 off of him. So do the Red Sox hit lefties? Yes, easily, and they have all year. 241 with a 746 OPS since June 1st. And Brian Bayo is bet on, and he's bet on at home. Yes, the Marlins bullpen's much better, but this is all of this movement with the total, with the line going towards the Marlins, is just makes me not want to be involved in the game I really badly wanted to be involved in. So take it away for us here. Jose, did I drop I must have hit everything. Yeah, take it away for us here, Marlins, Red Sox.
Yeah, I was just like you, Jim. I was first 5 under, full game under, and I just look at this game and it's like, ugh, I don't want to bet it. I don't know. And Rocco saying this is a Bayo spot, and I want to take Red Sox here because, of course, as I've said many times, they're an average team, and they're falling a game under 500. So guess what? I wouldn't be surprised they win this game to go straight back to 500 because they're an average baseball team. But I've said this as well. This Miami Marlins team is so good. It's so surprising to me how good they were. Jazz Chisholm just comes in here and just immediately just goes straight to work. And man, I don't want to say anything reckless, but we talked about it last show. I'm excited to bet on this Marlins team in the playoffs.
Even if there's no Yuri Perez?
Yeah, I mean, I stand alone thinking that maybe the Marlins, let the big dog eat and let him pitch. We'll see about that. Because when's the last time we've had a legit?
Strasburg.
Yeah, I mean, and
Strasburg was pulled. The Nets would have won the World Series that year. They ended up getting one though.
Yeah, and he still ended up fucking costing them millions of dollars and being the worst contract and maybe arguably MLB history. Albert Pujols and Anthony Rendon would like to have a word with him as well, but at least they've actually played. But yeah, I really don't think the Marlins sit him, and I think they let him eat, and we'll see how it all unfolds. They've had a great year, but I'm passing here. I've said the Marlins are one of the best teams that I've seen to play the Red Sox this year, so it's crazy. It's crazy, but I pass. I agreed with you on the under though, and I almost took Red Sox here, but I didn't.
Exact same. And now, and I'm not saying this isn't going to go under, but now cappers wake up in the morning who didn't, hammer this for 5 hours last night and say, oh, well, of course I'm going to bet the under with Luzardo versus Bayo. But that first move, this went from 9 to 9.5. And I fear that. And I'm off that.
Yeah, first 5 under would be my bet, if anything, here. And by the way, Billy Friedrich, Patrick Corbin's contract looks amazing compared to fucking Steven Strasburg contract. At least the guy's out there.
Well, let's talk about the game I can't wait to talk about, where I have action. So, Troy talking about feels like walking on eggshells with this line or this card. It's this tough one, and yesterday was a tough one. San Francisco Giants, Toronto Blue Jays, Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario. This is a pretty tricky situation. First, I expect the roof to be open. I feel like the smoke has cleared. There's no rain here.
For the Giants?
Keaton win.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
So, I expect Keaton to win. I don't like.
I do too. I had him listed as well, but how these fucking things go.
So let's talk about. So I expect the roof to be open. We knew it was going to be closed yesterday. 7.7 miles per hour out to left field, down to always between 6.9 7.7. And it's warm. It's beautiful. It's nice. We have the Rogers Center plus 3% homers, plus 7% doubles and triples, minus 11% singles, minus 4% overall, though. Spenny says Bassett will bounce back today. I think he was tipping pitches last time in his first start after he switched up the pitch comm to letting Jansen call it. He settled in. I think he's better today. The way I've heard it, Spenny, on the radio was that he was still calling his pitches last game. So now this is the first where he's not doing it. That's what I took from the radio interview that I listened to, was that he was still. So now he's saying, now I'll stop fully calling them. So I know that Jansen didn't call the whole game last out. I know that for sure. But that's a big point what Spenny's talking about. The second is he's getting destroyed by left-handed batters. Destroyed by them. And they're trying to figure out how, if they can call the game different against left-handed batters, or what they can do to get him to start getting left-handed batters out. Now, his numbers against left-handed batters aren't horrific. I thought I had it here written out. I don't. It's basically like a 900 OPS or something like that. Okay, after the first, they let Jansen take over. And Jansen will call it today fully. Okay, so I don't know if we know Bassett, he's pretty bullheaded about wanting to call his own game. So I don't know how happy he's going to be losing control of it. No one does. I don't know any, you'd have to have inside scoop. Certainly, he did not look good at home versus the A's after the first inning or throughout that start. Secondly, you take a look at this Giants lineup, and it's going to be all lefties. Right now, they have Lamont Wade, Jock Peterson, Conforto, Sable, Bailey, a switch hitter, and Crawford. So they have 6 listed. It could be 8 or 9. Because everybody knows Bassett has a problem right now. So I think that he's going to be frustrated out there. I really do. Now, look at his numbers at home. They're spectacular. 2.72 ERA. He's allowed 3 home runs over 46 in the third with a 148 opponent's batting average. That was a 131 opponent's batting average before he got touched up by the lowly A's. I don't know what Bassett's going to do without control over the pitches. I don't know if he's going to like it. I don't know how he's going to handle it. I don't know if he's going to like what's going on against lefties. So there's the first start. Now let's talk about Keaton Winn. This is his first career start in Major League Baseball. He's had 3 appearances. He has a save, 3.75 ERA, 1 whip, 9 Ks over 12 innings with 3 walks. This is a 5th-round pick in the 2018 draft. He missed a lot of time in his career. He had the canceled 2020 season, and then he had Tommy John in 2021. So he basically pitched in 2019 and then back in 2022. When he came back after the Tommy John surgery, he started throwing mid-90s fastball. 4-seam. His sinker started touching mid-90s, and he was a different pitcher. The biggest thing about him is he has the best splitter in the entire organization. Well, who sees the best splitter in the entire major leagues? The Blue Jays. we have in Gaussman the pitcher who has the best splitter. So we see the splitter all the time, and here he comes. He has this huge drop, a vertical drop on his splitter. So with all that being said, and the ribeye play today's in Jock Peterson at plus 150, 10-6, plus 11 units, and we have an average line at plus 175 here. So I'm on the first 5 over 5, and I don't trust Bassett against lefties. I'm interested in backing the Giants' first 3 innings when all the lefties come out for San Francisco. So let's just take a look at the line history here. I didn't touch on that. Let's break that down quickly with Wynn and Bassett. First off, the total opened up at 9. There's been no movement. This total didn't open up at Pinnacle till 10:09 a.m. This was available to bet on much earlier at other sites. Bet365 had made this available as well. Here for the first 5, this is important to me. There's been no movement at all. Again, zero movement. I would like to check Bet Online's first 5 movements, see if I can get a little confidence here. And this opened up first 5 over 5 minus 120. The first move was 10 cents against me. And then it's now 5 cents up. So it's at minus 115. I got minus 110 on that first 5 over. Let's go over to the money line because I really am interested in fading Bassett early here. So we have at Pinnacle, this line opened up plus 133. It's at plus 134. This is one of those spots where it just feels like the market doesn't really know what to do with this situation. You have 41% of the tickets and 64% of the cash on the San Francisco Giants, 57% of the tickets and 66% of cash on the over. We're talking about just 2,600 tickets in. I think when more tickets come in, there's going to be more money on the over, a bigger belief on what's going on with Bassett as being real against left-handed batters. You're facing a team that can fill the whole lineup up with left-handed batters. They're a deep, deep offensive team. So that's my breakdown. Take it away for us here, Jose Bouquett, Giants, Blue Jays.
I'll be a good listener here. I'll join you. I'm on first 5 Giants here. I know you're on the over here, but I'll be on the first 5 Giants money line. Shout to Rocco there as well, putting it in there. And when good things happen when I follow Mike M, so I'll be on his ribeye prop as well. You mentioned it, Bassett against lefties, and I was interested myself to look at this. Shout out to Fangraphs, who you can split down and see a certain period of time against lefties. Chris Bassett against lefties this month, 61 batters face, a 10.38 ERA, 17 hits, 5 doubles, 5 home runs, 15 ERA there. Very surprising, a 3.04 average there. So just been horrible against lefties this month, like you mentioned. Also, the Giants, like you mentioned as well, this is a team that is very analytically driven, so they're going to fill up their lineup full of lefties. Jock Peterson's a lefty. We all know that, so I expect him to have a decent day today. And even just like you mentioned with the RotoWire expected lineup, Lamont Wade, Peterson, Conforto, Sable, they have a switch hitting catcher, even Brandon Crawford's left-handed. So I think I like the Giants here, and I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if they got the dub today, full game, but I'll just take them first 5. Obviously, I'm worried about Keaton Wynn. You know, I who knows what we're going to get from that guy. And you know better than me about this Toronto Blue Jays offense, Jim. Every time I look at the Blue Jays, they'll be like top 5, you know, against righties or whatever it is, but it doesn't feel that way. It never feels that way with this offense.
It's because of Vlad. Vlad's just not, he's just not the hammer that you expect him to be. We think he's going to be. He's just not. You have Bichette. If it wasn't for Ohtani, Bichette would have a shot at the MVP.
Have you looked at the MVP odds recently, by the way? They're hilarious.
I have not. What's Ohtani?
Minus 1,000. What a sicko. And, of course, my guy Ronald Acuna is minus 150. This is just like if I was actually a good baseball capper this year, this would just be my year. I'd be living it up. My Venezuelan, my Japanese guy doing their things.
I don't want to invest too much on this inability to get lefties out. I'm very comfortable with the first 5 over 5. I would like to bet the Giants first 3 and first 5, but I do not want to sit here and invest 2 units into this. I'm only going to invest 1 unit, and I think it will be first 3 on the Giants. And that would be, trusting Keaton win, which is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
All right. Jose, hit me with your action once more.
First 5 money line there for the San Francisco Giants. I got that at plus 130. I want to double check real quick on our friends at Bet Online, because again, Bet Online's odds are very, very good when it comes to this stuff. Plus 125 there. So I'll take the plus 130. And then I'm taking Jock Peterson RBI from our guy Mike M's ribeye play of the day. Shout out to my guy Mike M there as always. Whenever I've told it a couple times, and I've only lost once from my memory. So shout out to him. So I have Jock Peterson RBI as well, and shout out to Rob Free. By the way, Rob Free, $20 donut. We appreciate you, my man.
And Rob Free, thank you so much for the dono. What a guy. What a great capper, and what a guy. Aloha Eastside Rolla throwing some jabs at me and the show. You are welcome to fire at me anytime you want if that brings joy to your life. All right, let's move on from that one. We are in Giants first 3 plus 115, first 5 over 5 at minus 110. Jose is on the Giants first 5 plus 130. He's tailing the ribeye play of the day. That's Jock Peterson. Ribeye play of the day from Jock Peterson, 10 and 6 plus 11 units, average line plus 175. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee Brewers 42 and 38, 20 and 20 on the road at the New York Mets, 36 and 44, 18 and 17 at home. Citi Field in Queens, New York. Adrian Hauser going up against Maximus Scherzer. Hauser versus Scherzer here, and Hauser looks atrocious. I remember when he looked so good there in the beginning of the year. What a Jekyll and Hyde pitcher. And look at Rob Free, won a 23-unit parlay yesterday, giving a little back. You are a good man, Rob Free. Thank you for thinking of my man. All right, let's go. Hauser versus Scherzer, and let's pull up the action. My first thought was to back Scherzer against Hauser. I do not trust Hauser at all. It's sort of like a Berea thing where they're hiding him. They're trying not to start him. He's not started in a while. His last appearance was June 23rd, and it wasn't a start. It was an inning situation. He's been bad on the road. 23 innings, 3.52 ERA, 319 opponent's batting average. So I wanted back Scherzer, but the line was not moving towards Scherzer. I couldn't understand why that was. I was looking at the first 5. Londo liking the Mets minus 1.5. The juice says Mets money line as a parlay, a leg. Troy Torrance is on the Mets first half, says massive discrepancy. You could get the first half fat there. BJ says Mets smash spot, got 4 units on them. Hammered it last night as soon as the line opened, says best spot on the board. Penny Bomb says Christian Yelich hits Scherzer. We'll be looking at his total bases and RBIs. All right, so let's pull this up here. This Scherzer Hauser spot, Brewers Mets. So this total first 5 is moved very slightly to the under, but I want to see the money line here. The move initially was towards Milwaukee, and it threw me for a loop, and I just didn't move on it because of it. Let's just see what BetOnline has done here with this Scherzer spot. Now minus 205. So this opened up at BetOnline at minus 195. It's moved 10 cents to minus 205. So not a big move there. Let's go to the full game money line here, because I'm just like, I'm exactly what Troy was thinking, but I just couldn't do it if the market wasn't moving towards the Mets, and it still really isn't moving towards the Mets. He
mentioned that there might be there is a 7-cent move on Pinnacle towards the Mets.
Yes, but this, it's happened at 10:35 a.m. I mean, this came out at 3:50 p.m. yesterday, and there was just no movement. I mean, you wait 9 hours for it to hit minus 183, like just absolutely no movement on it. DC Capper liking the Mets on the run line. I really want to know like when the move happened. Rocco says there's been a move. Bet 365 too. Mets minus 185 now minus 192. Like that's just not enough for me. That at least that's how I felt yesterday. When we can break this down further, we can decide if we want to move on. Why don't we take a look at the cash flow then here? For this, we have 61% of the tickets, 72% of the cash on the Mets. Line not really moving towards them. 77% of tickets, 97% cash on the under, telling us that Hauser is capable of pitching well here, which is shocking. Scherzer's last start, 4-2 win at Philly, was good. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 8 Ks, 1 walk. At home, 2.95 ERA, 22 Ks, 5 walks, 2 homers, 211 opponent's batting average. Vital says after the Mets CEO speech, this is a Mets spot. Get your asses right. Time. So this was a tough spot for me to back. And we go to Ballpark Pal for Citi Field plus 6% homers. Minus 9% doubles and triples, minus 7% singles, and minus 6% runs here. So, Jose, take it away. What are your thoughts here? Brewers, Mets.
Yeah, this has kind of been a theme today. I just nothing really on this game. This series has been kind of weird for me. I've been on both sides of this series, but I think I'd just rather be on the Brewers again here, honestly. I don't trust the Mets. A minus 195 is not something I really want to get behind. Ron Crawford mentioning that this is the only Mets pitcher that he'd want to back. And it feels like just a short while ago that we were all fading Max Scherzer too as well. So I didn't want anything to do with this game. And I guess I should apologize to you, Jim, because this is been a slow, boring show on my end because I've just had no action really. And nothing's jumping out to me, unfortunately, so I apologize. But yeah, Adrian Hauser, just nothing jumps out at me that I want to back him. You mentioned his starts, or not even starts, his appearances out of the pen last 2, and I looked up how he did against the Mets last year just for shits and gigs to see maybe if we can get a little confidence to back him. But 4 2/3, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, and 1 outing. The other one was a 4 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs there. But that was his second to last start of the year. So, I ultimately just wanted nothing to do with it. So I ended up passing here as well. Could I easily see Max Scherzer going out here and dominating? Yeah, because the Brewers offense is just bad. But I could also see Adrian Hauser throwing 5 innings of 1 or 2 run ball game here too. So maybe I lean under in this game too. And I don't bet many overs here in baseball anymore. Shot to Noli knows. But I just off this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel like I would prefer a bigger move to Scherzer than what we're seeing. And maybe it's just a situation where it's just lined correctly. We have a question here about the total, or whether this would be from Browns Hughes, whether this is an over spot with all the money, on the under and the line not moving.
That's always how it makes me feel.
97% of cash is on the under. Wow. 97. And this total is, there's been, it's gone from 8. It was opened up at 8 at 3:50 p.m. It got to 8.5 at 3:42 a.m. Yeah. Maybe this is just an over spot. There's Arthur Meade Jr. in the house. Londo says, why is the market not moving heavily towards the Mets?
That's the golden answer right now, Londo. You figure that out.
Top Crocodile says, wait until the market moves will hurt you long term, will it not? If I lose a minus 110, you lose minus 130 after the market moves. Sure, Top Crocodile. You're not using the market for information. So those of us who are using the market for information will get a worse line than what you've already put on when you're right. So, yeah, when you're right about the market move, then you're going to get a better line than everybody else, and you're going to save money. And
ideally, you get it when it first starts moving. So you can get a 5 cents move instead of like a 30-cent move,
And another spot where Mike M's talking about the discrepancy over what this opened at. And again, DraftKings, FanDuel open it at a different line. But we know that no one would have come out with the line before, Bet Online. So Bet Online open this up at 2:10 p.m. yesterday at minus 181. So there's been 3 cents of movement. So, all right, let's roll on. I've had Mets first 5 with question marks there, for 18 hours. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. And this was another one. Astros first 5 I've had with question marks for 18 hours. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day is in, and it is the Houston Astros for our guy, Ron Crawford. Astros is the play of the day. Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. The Gallegos.
What a that guy is.
The whole Cardinals bullpen was absolutely atrocious yesterday.
Fucking all of them can throw fucking 200 miles an hour, but they can't strike out anyone. Fucking assholes.
Oh, it was horrific. Horrific. But let's talk about JP France and Adam Wainwright here. Wainwright's been absolutely atrocious. I mean, he's been so bad at home. He's been so bad in general. And I have no problem trusting JP France, especially after that last performance by France. 3 earned runs over 6 innings, 3-2 loss at the Dodgers. I don't think France is great, but I think he's quality. I think he's a professional. 30 innings, 2.40 ERA on the road, 236 opponents batting average. I want to fade Wainwright, but I just need to see that the books are concerned with the situation. And if they're not, then I just can't do it. Let's take a look at the weather here. For us in St. Louis, 90 Fahrenheit. First pitch feels like 94, 6.9 miles per hour in, gets up to 7 miles per hour. Arthur Meade Jr., you are a good man. Thank you so much for your support. Rob Free and Arthur Meade Jr., it means a ton that you guys are supporting us. So thank you so much, Arthur, my man. Let's take a look at the line history here for the spot, but I also want to know what Ballpark Pal thinks of Busch today because it's hot. And the wind's blowing in. Minus 8% homers, minus 3% doubles and triples, minus 6% runs. Minus 6% runs. Spenny Penny Bombs is on Jose Abreu, RBI. Billy Friedrich on the Astros first 5 team total over 3.5 minus 130. Look, I would be thinking all of those same things, but let's just see what's now happened to this market. So move this up here and let's go. We're going to go into the line history. We'll start with the money line full game on Houston. Sorry, let's move over to Pinnacle for this. Minus 117. It opened up the Astros at plus 100, and they're now minus 117, which is good. So now you have 17 cents of movement. There was 23 cents of movement. There was no movement earlier. I guess it moved 2 cents and it moved 7 cents. I guess I don't know why I was so against just a 7-cent move. Let's go see what the first 5 market move was because that's what I was wanting. I wanted to just isolate Wainwright here, and we don't have Pinnacle to look at, so we'll go to – and Bet Online comes out so late, so why don't we use Bet Chris or even my bookie, but we'll use Bet Chris here. Bet Chris opened up Houston at minus 133 first 5. That was an 8 this morning. So it actually been an 8-cent move against them. That doesn't really work because when Bet Chris and some of these books first put the line out there, the VIG on either side is way more than what they'll cut it down to. So really at 8:28 a.m. is probably a better example because then they got to 30 cents. But it was minus 125 to plus 105. So there hasn't really been a move this morning on France, but I want to fade Wainwright so badly here. So let's take a look at the line history on this total full game. It's just going up, telling me that they're both vulnerable. This opened up at 9. It's now at 10. This has got up to 10 many times. It got up to 10 at midnight and came back down. It's got up to 10 many times and then dropped, but it's sitting at 10 right now. Let's go into the cash flow and then hand it over here. First off, 84% of the tickets and 98% of the cash on the Astros. 98% of the cash. 73% of tickets and 87% cash on the over. Look, the public's going to win sometimes. 98% is a lot of money to be on the Astros. Wainwright, last start at home was terrible. 3 innings, 11 hits, 7 earned runs. At home, he's a 7.03 ERA, and the opponents are hitting 369 off of him. Cards are hitting righties much harder than the Astros since June 1st, but the Cards bullpen's terrible. Astros bullpen hasn't been that good, but when you get down to the Abreu Presley 8-9, I mean, it's over. Take it away for us here, Jose. Astros Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like everyone. Obviously, you look towards the over to start off with, but this is going to be a true test of ballpark pal here, Jimmy. I'll be very interested to see how this game goes. All that money on the over, ballpark pal saying this is maybe a negative run spot, so I'll be interested. I'll be the voice in the wind here. I think Adam Wainwright will have one of his best starts of the season right here. And I say this coming off of a horrible London outing. Deleted his social media. Apparently, I guess probably getting shit on by a bunch of Cardinals fans. And you know what? I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. I think he'll have a locked in good start here after getting his shit rocked. Am I going to back him with my actual monetary funds? I don't think so, unfortunately. But it's a Cardinal spot for me. The Cardinals offense last 10 days against righties, 132 weighted runs created plus. Maybe it's inflated because of London, sure. But they've been hitting the ball well. Astros against righties, 124 weighted runs created plus. I just really think the Cardinals are live here, honestly. And all that money is truly scary. But as we've heard in this chat before, when there's 98, 99% of the money on something, it sounds more like a sting. Shout out to my guy Topset for saying that. I remember laughing my ass off about that. So I think Wainwright can bounce back here. He's an old savvy veteran that I think can still conjure up some magic every once in a while here as well. So I wouldn't hate the Cardinals here at all.
Picks from Dave says Wainwright is basically a Walmart greeter. The Juice says, please explain how you reached the conclusion that Wainwright good start is a lock. I don't see anybody writing lock anywhere here. The Juice, and a pitcher with a 7.03 ERA at home and a 369 points batting average. I think people would say it's more of a hunch here than a lock. The Juice says, besides line movement, because I don't know how that impacts Wainwright's performance, I do think that consecutive home starts helps. But look, if anybody wants to be on the Astros with 98% of the cash, that public will win sometimes too. I don't.
Yeah, and here's the thing, obviously his last start being in London, he has that long layoff, et cetera, et cetera. I just truly believe that if a guy's going to delete his social media and all of his shit during the season, I feel like that's a sign that he's trying to lock in more, because everyone the whole season has basically said Wainwright should have retired last year. We're retired with Yachty. What the fuck is he doing? He's washed up, et cetera, et cetera. Both teams coming off of a giant offensive outing here. I just really think that the Cardinals are live here. And what's funny, Jimmy, whenever, and this is a trend, this is what happens. Whenever someone, a random name in the chat, starts coming out hard body for one side, it seems like maybe the crybaby pussy word gets thrown out, and then our side ends up winning. Shout out to Rick J. Rick J, by the way, still watches my show. I told him I miss him on the morning shows. But that's how that goes. Unfortunately, crybaby pussy can never be put back in the box.
Yeah, he's always welcome here. I couldn't give a fuck. Let's move on here to the next spot on the board. 8:05 p.m. Eastern, and Tone Miggins has given the Phillies first five money line as the fast cash play of the day. I moved on the over 5.5 in Phillies Cubs over at Wrigley Field here, and I got that with no vig. Look, Taijuan Walker is another pitcher with splits that are crazy, and I like Taijuan Walker and I like Kyle Hendricks. I like them both, but here I couldn't help but understand this huge market move towards the over. And once I understood it and I saw it moved to 6 at some books, we're going to see if it's at 6 now, and still getting regular vig at 5.5. I moved on it. And Mike M says the crybaby pussy spot of the day is going to be a thing now. It's a little wordy.
It's all one word, crybaby pussy. It's all hyphenated in there, crybaby pussy.
Okay, let's go. All right, let's go to the weather here. I'm on the over, first five over 5.5. here. Let's take a look at the weather. First off, 73 Fahrenheit, 5.8 miles per hour, right to left. Then it blows out to left field. Now it's not heavy, 6.4 and 6.8, but it's hot, 73 and sticky. Let's move over to the expectation here. Plus 29% home runs at Ballpark Pal for Wrigley. Then plus 6% runs.
I was going to say, without even looking at the weather, I was going to guess that this weather was going out here. That's what always happens with this Wrigley weather. And it's not even that windy, you said, so.
There's our guy Cheech Marinas at the World Series of Poker in Vegas. First tournament starts in 2 hours, $1,000 buy-in. Let's go, Cheech.
Shout out to Cheech.
Fucking go, Cheech.
Again, tweet us some pictures, Cheech. We'd love to see it.
Let's fucking go, Cheech. All right, we have Taijuan Walker going up against Kyle Hendricks. Let's go into the line history here for this one. First off, the total. This total opened up at 9 and moved up immediately. So it opened up at 9 at 7:58 this morning at Pinnacle. It got to 9.5 12 minutes later, and then it got to 10, and it had only been open for an hour. Then the 10 was deemed too much, dropped to 9.5 a couple times, and it's at 9.5. Right, it was at 9.5 until about 11 minutes ago when it moved back to 10, juice to the under. So we have a full run up on the full game. I was only the only option I think I had. Oh no, that was the other one. I didn't even really look at the full game. Let's take a look at the first 5 here. Total. Please show me 6s. Only Pinnacle hanging a 6 right now. But look at these over 5.5s. They're big. They're heavily juiced. I got in at minus 110, which I'd be thankful for. But this was minus 121 before they moved it to 6. It still is sort of like a heavily juiced over 5.5. Let's get to the money line here. Take a look at that. We'll take a look at the cash flow and then do a quick pitcher discussion and then move past it. So no movement, man. The Phillies have gone, and this opened up at 3:55 p.m. yesterday. The Phillies have gone 2 cents of movement. So no movement on the money line and movement to the over. Let's go over to the cash flow then. We have 52% of the tickets and 86% of the cash on the Cubs. You'd want a little bit of movement towards them, I think, to be confident. Then you have 32% of the tickets, but 49% of the cash on the over. That's a great spot, I think, to be in. And Taijuan Walker has a 5.76 ERA on the road. So, yeah, we can talk about how well he's pitching lately. Or does he still have vulnerabilities on the road? They're hitting 287 off of him. I don't have the answer to that. Kyle Hendricks coming off a nice start at the Pirates. But the Phillies hit righties hard, 262, 747 OPS since June 1st. Cubs are not hitting that hard, 238, 694. And both bullpens are good. So I'm focusing just on the first 5, and I am on the over 5.5 minus 110. Take it away for us here, Jose. Phillies, Cubs.
Yeah, nothing for me here, unfortunately. But I am a little surprised you're taking the over here. Taijuan Walker, obviously pitching well, et cetera, et cetera. But the Phillies' last 2 weeks against righties, 26, 81 weighted runs created plus, surprisingly low. I say this on my program often, Jimmy. I think the Phillies are just the team for me this year that I have zero feel on. I never know when they're going to play well. I don't trust their bats. It's just one of those. I don't trust their bullpen at all either. I guess I have Dave Dombrowski PTSD. Like Craig Kimbrell's closing games for them, and I don't want my money on that. So I like your first 5 looks there, and I don't know. It's just the professor, as always, worrisome to try to fade on the road. So I ultimately passed this game as well. Unfortunately, sidewise here, shockingly enough, I guess I'd be on the Cubs, but I just don't have enough confidence to get there, unfortunately. But I am thinking about adding the Cardinals, though, as I sit here and think about it. If I'm going to be the voice in the wind, I might as well fucking put my money on this bullshit and prove some worth here. But I have no action on this game, and we'll get back to the Cardinals game in the review.
Yeah, I did not plan on being on the over. I did not plan on it. This just came from, I had capped it all. Then I saw the market, and I thought that I was getting a big advantage getting the 5.5 with no extra VIC, just on minus 110. And that's what I did. And I'm looking forward to watch this one. So there we go. Tom Miggins, Phillies first 5 money line. Is this what are you saying, my man?
Sorry, I was just laughing at Billy Friedrich's comments about Tony Kemp day game averages. So I think we've talked about this as well. Tony Kemp just can't hit during the day, and it's just so fucking funny to me.
Let's get it, Londo. There we go. And Spenny talking about the batters in the Phillies lineup that can get to Hendricks, Jay Hay, 423, Harper, 320, and Castellanos, 3.
You said you had the Phillies futures, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
It's the only futures that I didn't tweet out. I don't know why I didn't tweet them out, but I never tweeted them out. But yeah, I have them. I'd have to look at what I got them on, but they're not on my spreadsheet because I never tweeted them out to make them official.
Yeah, again, I just don't know what it is with the Phillies. They're just a team I just don't have a good grip on. And you could say I don't have a fucking grip on the league with my record, but I usually abstain from Phillies games. I'm not sure why.
Let's move on here. And Mike M says, bring your glove to the park again. And last time he said that yesterday, it was a huge over. That was in the smiley spot. Says, runs galore in Chicago tonight. Spenny says last time Hendricks faced Phillies, he got absolutely lit up. Mike M says closet Philly fan. I got a holiday jersey right over there, Phillies holiday jersey. All right, let's move on to 8:40 p.m. Eastern. This is our final game on the card. If you could send Brizzy a message saying that we are ready for him. Our final MLB game on the card before we get into WNBA, and it is also the gift. TJ has sent us the gift here. TJ's gift play of the day, 21-9, hitting at 70%, plus 11.93 units. ROI plus 36.5%, average line minus 104. The gift is in. We have the RBI play of the day. We have the spreadsheet play of the day. And now the gift here. Dodgers, first 5 minus a half at minus 135. Dodgers, Rockies, Coors Field in Denver, Colorado, another spot where there's a lot of offense expected. 79 Fahrenheit, 12.2 miles per hour right to left. Slightly out, very, very slightly out to left field. And then by the end of the game, it's kind of slightly in. Take a look at Ballpark Pal. They expect offense here in this game. Plus 23% homers, plus 24% doubles and triples, plus 7% singles, plus 27% runs. Rocco Rogers has Chase Anderson over 3.5 earned runs at plus 120. Spenny Penny Bombs with the Max Muncy homer. Let's go into the line history here for this one. We have Emmett Sheehan going up against Chase Anderson. The Dodgers have gone from minus 105 to minus 204. This opened up yesterday at 3:58 p.m. So we have 9 cents of movement to the Dodgers. Let's take a look at what's going on here with the total in this one. That's first 5. Sorry, let me move over to full game and see what we are dealing with. This opened up at 12.5, and it's at some books. At Pinnacle too, 12.5. It lasted there for about 14 hours before it hit 12. Then it went back to 12.5. It's interesting because it's now at 11.5, but it was at 12.5 as of 8:30 this morning. Now at 11.5. So we have a move to the under and a very slight move to the Dodgers. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for our final game on the docket. 11% of the tickets on the Rockies and 95% of the cash. That's just wild. And then it's 50-50 on the total, but there's been a real move to the under from 12.5 to 11.5. Wow. Joe Yerkford says Oakland lineup 7 lefties, and same with Billy Friedrich, both saying 7 lefties for the A's versus Schmidt. He's had trouble with lefties, but I do believe in him, although I'm not on that game. Here we go. Emmett Sheehan has had 2 home starts. Now he goes to the thin air of Colorado. How will he be able to handle that? I think Sheehan's got great stuff. Sheehan has allowed 3 hits in 12 major league innings. Now 2 have gone yard. Coming off the 3-2 win at home over Houston. So 7 strikeouts and 4 walks, but he looks very good. Chase Anderson looks atrocious. He was the pitcher of record in that 25-1 loss at home versus the Angels. 9 earned runs in 2 2/3. He'd been very good at home before this, and it's interesting that this is moving towards the under. Dodgers versus righties 233, 689 OPS. Rockies versus righties 257, 10 OPS. And the Dodgers bullpen 2 runs better than the Rockies over 9 innings, but not good. 4.68 ERA since June 1st. Take it away for us here, Jose. Our final game on the board, Dodgers, Rockies.
Yeah, this is a maybe I'm chasing here, but I'd like the under in both of these games so far, and I've not bet them, and if they've cashed fairly easily. So I'm going to take the full game under here. Chase Anderson in the ultimate get back, get right spot. I'm sure he'd been thinking about his last start for the whole fucking time since he got off the mound and watching everyone just get rocked. And Emmett's just been great. So I took the full game under 12. This is the first time I've seen this. Bet Online has a minus 124. Bovada hanging at minus 115. So wow, that's shocking. So I took the under 12 there, minus 115. And I ultimately, and I say ultimately as I saw Christopher Kauffman say ultimate, right is right. I want to take the first 5 under there as well, but I don't know if I'm going to take that. And by the way, Rocco, I guess I'm mixing up my days. I don't know why I thought the under cashed last night. But yeah, I like the under here, and I might take it first 5 full game here.
Interesting. But you tweeted out the under 12?
No, I haven't tweeted out anything, thankfully. But yeah, that's what Bovada has right now, which is why I was surprised to see that, Jim. I refreshed and everything. I'm like, why is this minus 115 and Bet Online hanging at minus 124? Like, that's just an odd bet there. So first 5 under 6.5 here as well. It's just
my bookie hanging the 12 at minus 106. It's juice to the over.
I don't know what that means. That's just weird.
Yeah, market is all over the place. All over the place. Wow. I get TJ's X's and O's on why he's on the Dodgers. I just, and Emmett Sheehan did have to deal with a little bit of adversity when the Astros hit those 2 homers. But they're saying that Chase Anderson is going to bounce back here. At least the market is. And I don't want to, She's got a fucking little fly flying around. I don't want to be involved. This one makes me a little uncomfortable. But TJ's right. He's faced 2 good offenses, but he did face them at home. If I had a free bet, I'd certainly be rocking with TJ here on the first 5 minus a half, but I'm going to stay off of this late game spot. This was a pretty tricky card to break down. Let's review all action here in MLB, and then we will move on to WNBA if we see Brizzy. He was here earlier this morning, so hopefully he'll be back in action. Let's review all action here for this one. First off, Vipe came in and gave us Kansas City first 5 and Miami money line. Justin McElvey's on the Red Sox team total over 4.5 at plus 104. Mr. Lewis is on the Cubbies money line plus 102. BJ's best bet today. He cashed with a 4-unit bet yesterday. Today, he's on the New York Mets at minus 184. Also likes him on the minus 1 line as well. Rocco Rogers on Brian Bayo over 17.5 outs. All right. So, Billy Friedrich has got Detroit, Texas first 5 over 5 and the full game over 9. Rob Free, after catching that big parlay yesterday, has another parlay. Dodgers, Mets, Padres for Rob Free. It's all first 5 money line parlay at plus 230. He's putting 2 units on that. Again, that's Dodgers, Mets, Padres. Spenny Pennybombs came in with player props. He's on Schwarber, homer, and RBI. He's on Morrill, homer and RBI. Robert, homer, RBI. Ohtani, homer, RBI. And Moose, just a homer. Duvall, homer. So that is Ron Crawford. Mr. Vape, is that Padres game started? No, it's not start.
No, sorry. Yeah, I was about to say it looks like it's right about to start, but it has not yet.
This game has been pushed back due to smoke. Padres first 5 minus a half for Mr. Vape. Professor Chris is on the Pirates again. Tom Leach is on the Pirates plus 1.5 and the under. TJ's on the first 5 under minus 120. And Sharpie came on the show and gave us the Musgrove over 5.5 Ks at minus 116. I'm off that spot. Joe Yurkovich gave us a Hail Mary value shot. Tigers money line and Olsen 8 or more Ks. That's a plus 950 parlay there. By
the way, real quick, Pirates Padres starts at 120.
120. Guardians Royals. I wanted to find a way to get on that first 5 under 5. I could not do it. Tone Miggins, though, levels play today is Cleveland money line minus 165. Jose moved on the first 5 under 4.5 in the Yankees A's. I want to look at it a little longer, but I'm
the A's are becoming more appealing. But
the Diamondbacks first 5, though, is the first addition to the card. Jose's on the Angels team total over 2.5. Rocco's on Boston first 5, and we already talked about his look on Bay over 17.5 outs. I'm on the first 5 over 5, and my second edition. Oh, and sorry, that's in Giants Blue Jays. My second edition will be the Giants first 3 at plus 115. I think I'm going to test Bassett without control over the pitches against lefties, and the Giants are going to fill him up, and I know they'll fill him up early. Giants first 5 plus 130 for Jose, and he's also on the ribeye play of the day. Mike M's ribeye play today, 10-6 plus 11 units with an average line plus 175 is Jock Peterson plus 150 for the RBI play of the day. Then I'm going to have a tight card again, just like yesterday, which is fine. I can't move on the Mets first 5 and Scherzer. I just need a bigger move towards them, and I just don't feel comfortable like it's big enough for me personally. Same as the Astros. I can't be on a spot with 98%. There's a reason why I didn't move on it. But Ron Crawford's on it. So if anybody's on it, they can have confidence with that. And also Billy Friedrich on the Astros first 5 team total over 3.5. I am on the over 5.5 at Wrigley. First 5 over 5.5. Tom Miggins is on the Phillies first 5 money line. And the gift from TJ, Dodgers first 5 -0.5, and Jose's on the under 12 at -115.
I'm gonna rejigger real quick. So, and by the way, Angels first 5 team total over 2.5. You just said team total. I don't know. I want to just make sure you got that on your notes. And obviously, I think everyone knows it would be first 5 with the 2.5, but just want to make sure. So yeah, I'm doing Oakland Yankees first 5 under. I'll take the Giants double up there, first 5 and Jock Peterson there. I'm only going to move on the first 5 under in Colorado. Dodgers first 5 under 6.5 -105. I just don't think I'm in a confident enough position to double up, honestly. And I'm going to take the Cardinals first 5 money line. Plus
okay, so wait, just like Dodgers under 6.5 was at what juice?
-105.
-105, and then you're going to move on the Cardinals.
Cardinals first 5 money line. If I'm going to say that Adam Wainwright's going to have a bounce back start, let's put our money where our mouth is. First 5 plus 105 for me.
All right, you got it. Jose's on the cards first 5 plus 105. All right, excellent work. Good luck, everybody. It is now time to talk WNBA basketball. So thank you, Jose. Jose, this is your show. Yeah, there's no you get the night off here. So
yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. I'm just gonna be fucking vigorously pacing back and forth, just annoyed with myself throughout the day. But don't worry, because the WNBA is here to save us. And I'm genuinely excited for a WNBA game. So I'm excited to hear what Billy Brisbane has to say about it. So good luck, everyone.
Sweet. Thank you for rolling with us. And Mally Mal, yes, the ribeye play today is Jock Peterson of the Giants at plus 150. The spreadsheet play today is the Astros. All right. Let's move on to WNBA and bring on our WNBA expert, also our NBA expert. He's also a mixed martial arts expert here on Pub Sports Radio, but we're talking WNBA today. Please welcome from South Jersey, our guy, Mr. Billy Brisbane, to the show. Brizzy, what's good? How are you, my man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling nice and refreshed and ready to go, man. Thursday's the best day to ever tell me because this is the money that we roll over for the weekend for the fights. So, all is in for the WNBA. Betting on bitches, man. I can't believe I'm doing it, but it's been profitable for me, so I'm not going to complain.
Well, all of these games are at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, so late night action for us here. We start with New York Liberty at the Las Vegas Aces, the dominant Las Vegas Aces. But Liberty are a good squad, 10-3, 5-1 on the road at the Aces, who have yet to lose at home, 7-0, 13-1 overall. There's my guy, Turnsey, in the house. God damn, Turnsey. I can't get over Cardinals not getting us to the cash yesterday. That one hurt. All right, let's talk Vegas and New York. First off, Liberty on a 4-game winning streak. Last saw them on Tuesday night, taking out the Connecticut Sun in Connecticut, 89-81. The Aces are coming off back-to-back games at home against the Fever, winning by 13 and then winning by 8. A one-day rest advantage over the Liberty. Also, Liberty traveling. Aces have been resting at home. Let's go over to Bet Online here for the line movements. in New York, Las Vegas. This opened up with Vegas minus 5.5 and got all the way up to -8. So -8 last night. There's been a little bit of buyback. We're down to 6.5, and that is juiced, the +6.5 juiced to the Liberty. +6.5 from a totals perspective. Oh, it's not on totals. I apologize. From a totals perspective, though, we have this, again, at Bet Online, opening up at 172 and is all the way up to 175. This is the highest point. This is the peak, and it got there 15 minutes ago. So we have a move to the over and a slight move to the aces. Take it away for us, Brizzy. Our first game on the card, Liberty Aces.
Yeah, we get a matchup between the number 1 and number 2 scoring teams in the WNBA. Both teams sit top 5 in pace, so it's going to be a highly entertaining game. But I don't think we've seen the peak of the Las Vegas Aces yet. I mean, they're only 7-7 ATS despite a 13-1 overall record. They cruised pretty early, woke up a little bit to close out this month. This line, like you said, opened up 5.5 on Wednesday afternoon. That line shot up to 6.5 immediately. Then we saw the line get as high up to 8. Then we saw some buyback into the Liberty Thursday morning today. The consensus market would be around -7 for the Vegas Aces. But if you shop around, you can find all different numbers. But this number's pretty sharp. My initial lean was this could be too many points, but I have a hard time betting against the Las Vegas Aces, to be honest. The Liberty are only 1-8 ATS in our last 9 meetings in Las Vegas, 7-21 ATS in our last 28 meetings. They're traveling from Mohegan Sun all the way out to Las Vegas. And when it comes to the total, I kind of want to stay off of that too. The Liberty have been 6-2 toward the over in their last 8 games overall, and the under's 9-2 in the Aces' last 11 home games. I think that shows the recent form of both teams. I mean, a lot of these Liberty games are going over because they're not playing good enough defense, but they're talented enough to win out the games. And while the Aces are just playing good defense and kind of all these games are going over. I mean, the Liberty, though, the one thing that does really intrigue me about betting the Liberty in this game is the Liberty haven't been underdogs or 6 or more points since August of last year. So I thought that was very telling into the line. But this feels kind of Vegas trap spotty. We kind of saw this on Tuesday. A lot of people were betting the Connecticut Sun over the Liberty with the plus points, and they ended up getting smoked. And I could definitely – I'm not going to the window and betting against the Las Vegas Aces, so pass.
I get it. This is 2 top teams in the league, facing each other here. The Tees on the first half over 88 and the Liberty +7. TC Capper on the first half over as well. Tori Coker on the Liberty +6.5 and the money line. So Tori Coker believing in this Liberty.
I do like that first half over 87.5. I do. I would lean that way. It's not been into the betting the totals in the WNBA because whenever I think it's going to go left, it goes right. One player prop that does intrigue me, left as a lean, not going to play it. But if you're playing on Prize Picks, it could be one of your Prize Picks plays. Courtney Vandersloot over 7.5 assists, -130 tonight.
And Ron Crawford also on the Liberty. So we don't have anybody here in the chat saying Aces.
Yeah, and that's the way I would lean. If you gave me a free bet on this game and I could only bet the Liberty or the Aces on the spread, I would bet the Las Vegas Aces.
All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. 10 p.m. Eastern, Indiana Fever, 5-9, 4-5 on the road. The Phoenix Mercury, 2-11, 1-5 at home. We're at the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. This is a thing we talk about a lot throughout all sports. You have the Fever coming off 2 games in Vegas against the best team in the league. Now they head out on the road against the worst team in the league. Mercury on a big losing streak here. Last saw them on Tuesday night, losing at home to Dallas by 15. So let's take a look at the line history here for this one. On the spread, Indiana opened up at -2 and quickly got up to -4.5. They were at -4.5 last night and have come all the way back to 2.5. So we have a half-point move towards them. From a total side of things, this opened up at 168, and it dropped so fast. This was yesterday at 12:46 p.m. Within 18 hours, this was an 8-point drop all the way down to 160. It's come back 2.5 points. 160 was the bottom out point. Right now it's sitting at 162.5. Take it away for us here, Brizzy. Fever, Mercury.
Yeah, the Mercury have fired their head coach, Vanessa Nygaard, following their blowout loss on Sunday versus the Seattle Storm. Interim coach Nikki Blue's debut was on Tuesday, but that ended up being another blowout loss. But everything you hear from the Mercury in the post-game press conference sounds right and sounds like what I want to bet on. I mean, the GM said this isn't where we want to be. We're not tanking. We want to win games, and we want to turn this around immediately. Mercury guard Jenny Sims said after the game, the energy has definitely changed. I feel like we all won it at the end of the day. It was a couple of good quarters, but Thursday is going to get better. While the numbers won't scream to bet the Mercury, this team is far too talented to lose 11 out of their last 13 games. They're a lot better team than what they've shown on paper so far this season. And everyone's healthy for tonight. Sophie Cunningham back in the lineup for tonight. The Fever are coming off back-to-back games versus the Aces where they look somewhat competitive in both games. They're 6-0-2 ATS in their last 8 road games, 8-2-2 in their last 12 games overall. While the Mercury are only 0-4 ATS in their last 4 home games, 0-6 ATS in their last 6 games overall. So one may ask, Bill, why are you going to the window here with the Phoenix Mercury? It's the Fever. They've struggled traveling to Phoenix, 1-6 ATS in their last 7 meetings overall, 5-15 ATS in their last 21 meetings head-to-head, while the average gambler is probably going to say they want to wait and see the Mercury get it back together before putting their money on there. I'm going to the window tonight. I think the Mercury are going to start changing the season around. They're far better than their 2-11 record. Fuck the points. Bookie, you can keep the points. We won it straight on the money line tonight, plus 125 for the Mercury. This line opened up at -3.5 and -150 in favor for the Fever. But there's been some buyback action in the underdog here, while this number is currently sitting at -2.5 and -140 for the Fever. So people are buying into the Mercury. You're telling me a 2-11 record team is getting some of the public money today. I think the Sharps know what they're doing in this one, and I'm going to be a part of that sharp action in the Mercury. And then my favorite player prop of the day is also coming from this game. I'm on Shug Sutton under 10.5 points, -115, available at Bet365. Interim head coach Nikki Blue has seemed to take a liking to Mariah Jefferson, who got the start last game. And Sophie Cunningham is supposed to be back in the starting lineup tonight as well. So Tarasi, Jefferson, Cunningham, Norway, and Griner is going to be the starting lineup. So Shug's been taking a bench role, and her production has definitely dipped from her spot starts a couple of weeks ago. And the bookies still have her points up from her performance a couple of weeks ago against the Las Vegas Aces, where she had 21 points. But in that last game on Tuesday, I played a lot of WNBA DFS. I saw something that honestly kind of shocked me, but I think it's due to the change of coaching. And Shug Sutton, that bitch has never seen a shot that she did not like, and her field goal efficiency is horrible. Her turnover rate is horrible. So in result, she's seen a season low 23 minutes in her last game, and I was shocked DraftKings and Bet365 even posted her prop. I don't expect her to play more than 20 minutes tonight. This line is only available at DraftKings, Bet365. It's not on FanDuel. FanDuel didn't post it for a reason because they don't think that she's going to get enough minutes for it to even be viable. On DraftKings, this number sitting at juiced towards the under at -140. So on Bet365 at -115, it's great value. You got to get on it now before that prop goes away in the middle of the afternoon today, because Shug Sutton isn't going to play enough minutes. So 2 plays in this game. Shug Sutton under 10.5 points, -115. And we're on the Phoenix Mercury on the money line here, plus 125. I feel like I'm always betting the Mercury on this show, man. Their first 2 games of the season, I think I'd bet the Mercury with 1-1. So we're going back to the well here. I think the Mercury are going to start playing for their head coach. I mean, Diana Taurasi, Brittany Grinder, and the girls. Sophie Cunningham back in this one. I'm not buying into the Indiana Fever being this playoff team that everybody wants to bet on. And Boston from South Carolina has been snapping this year and all that. All that shit's coming to a halt tonight. Give me the Mercury.
Mercury on the money line, Sutton under 10.5 points, -115. And 41-year-old Diana Taurasi. Jesus. Didn't see Kobe playing the 41. All right. Let's talk about our last spot here on the board. Minnesota Lynx, 5-9, 3-4 on the road at Seattle Storm, 4-10, 2-7 at home. Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. Lynx coming off a win here in Seattle on Tuesday, 104-93. Oh, sorry, that was in Minnesota. Excuse me. In Minnesota, 104-93. So it's the home and home. Now we are in Seattle for this one. Let's take a look at the line history here.
It's a fucked line, man.
First off, this opens up at -2 for Seattle. this was yesterday, within 30 minutes was at +1. So there was an initial 3-point move towards Minnesota. Since then, it's been all Seattle.
Well, the other day, man, I mean, not to cut you off, the Minnesota Lynx were 3.5-point favorites at home. I mean, I feel like the bookies just like flipped the number on the other side. We'll just give the favorite for the home team.
And so we're sitting at -2.5 right now from the -2 opener at Bet Online. Here on the total, we had a lot of movement towards the under, opening up at 166. And it lasted there for 21 minutes before it moved to 163. 3-point move towards the under immediately down to 163. Now it's sitting at 162.5. But when it went down to 163, there was immediate buyback. It got back up to 166.5 last night. So opening up at 166, down to 163, back up to 166.5, and now sitting at 162.5. So a 3.5-point move towards the under. North Ender says a lot of movement in these WNBA games. These lines are soft. North Ender leaning towards the Storm money line, and TC Capper on the first half over here in Seattle, Minnesota. Take it away. Here we go. Lynx Storm, Brizzy.
Yeah, this is a weird game. We were just talking about how the Lynx were -3.5-point favorites the other day, and now they're 2.5-point underdogs. I mean, so a damn near 5.5-point swing for the Seattle Storm just because they're at home across a couple of states. I don't know about this one. I kind of want to stay off of this one. I think the Lynx, they're going to be playing another game without their starting center, Jessica Shepard, but the Lynx have played good basketball of recent. I mean, for a team that was the lowest in odds for future bets this year to win the championship, they're 4-1 ATS in their last 5 road games, 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games overall, and they did get their rookie guard back, Diamond Miller. She looked absolutely electric last game, 31 minutes in her first game back with 18 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and she was locking up Jewel Lloyd. She kept Jewel Lloyd to 14 points. She shot 4 for 18 from the field, 2 for 7 from the 3-point line. And this Seattle team only goes as far as Jewel Lloyd goes. I mean, when she scores 25 or more points this year, this team is 5-1 ATS. And when she scores 25 or below points this year, they're 3-5 ATS. So I kind of lean towards Seattle winning this game, but the price tag of -145 is horrible value for this team. Well, I think this team is going to win the game. I mean, the line's -145. We're paying up. We're paying the juice to bet on the Seattle Storm. I just can't go with it. My lean for this game, if you're like the Seattle Storm, like I told you a little bit earlier, this team goes as far as Jewel Lloyd goes, and FanDuel's player performance doubles or Jewel Lloyd 25-plus points in Seattle to win is +260 tonight. I mean, they're 5-1 ATS when she scored 25 or more points, so if Jewel Lloyd goes over a point prop, Seattle probably wins the game. If they go under, they're probably going to lose the game. So not enough value for me to be relying on the what do they call her? The Gold Mamba. The Gold Mamba. She ain't the real Mamba. So I don't want to be throwing my money on this Storm tonight.
I get it here. Joe Hill, though. Joe Hill liking Seattle to bounce back. Torrey Coker and Ron Crawford both on the Lynx in this spot. So let's review all action here. We have a double up for our guy Brizzy, and that is the Mercury money line and Sutton under 10.5 points. That's what he will be focusing on to get paid here. We have cappers in the chat all over other spots on the other 2 games, but our Brizzy focusing on getting paid with the Mercury and Sutton under 10.5 points.
Yeah, I feel like later on in the basketball season when we're doing this show on Thursday and stuff like that, my ROI started going up higher when I started nailing just one game, and I kind of want to bring that over to the WNBA season.
I love it, man. I love it. What's going on with the big podcast this weekend?
Yeah, podcast. UFC Vegas 76. You can watch me and Mills argue for about 45 minutes about which bets are going to not cash and not cash. We talked a little bit about women's MMA because me and Mills had really good 2021 years in women's MMA, but didn't have that good of a year in 2022, so we're starting to roll it over to 2023 here. Things are looking up in the bright spot. Coming off a Macy Barber W last week, one of my biggest bets cashes of the year, plus 170 on the money line, round 2 knockout, 12-1 odds. So we're rolling over here at Pub Sports Radio, so make sure you check out the podcast because we have a lot of videos on the YouTube page, but we got to start checking out the podcast because we're giving out winners only.
I love it, Brizzy. Thank you for rolling with us. You can catch Brizzy here every Thursday breaking down the WNBA card. And, of course, you can catch him live on Saturday for UFC Vegas 76. And then you can see him again, hopefully. I've asked him yet, but I want him on my show on Monday night if you're available, Brizzy.
Always. You know what they say, Jim, over the summer. Free BG. Let's go, Mercury.
There we go. Let's do a final review of baseball action, starting from late to early. Jose on the under 6.5 in Dodgers Rockies. TJ on the Dodgers first 5 -1/2. That's the gift. That is the gift right there. That's the gift. Then Tone Miggins, the fast cash play today, he's putting 1.5 units on the Phillies first 5 money line. I'm on the over 5 again, just like yesterday. Just 4 bets for me. I'd prefer to have more action, but you just got to stay in your lane and take the spots that you have the confidence in to bet. And I'm on the over 5.5 in Phillies Cubbies. Already 1-0 Padres, says North Ender. So there you go. I'm on the over 5.5 there. Then, and that's, I wanted Musgrove, just couldn't do it. There's my guy Diesel Eugene in the house. Jose's on the cards, first 5 plus 105, putting his money where his mouth is. 98% of cash, full game on the Astros in that one. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play days, the Astros. Billy Friedrich on the Astros, first 5, team total over 3.5. I'd love to be on the Mets. I just couldn't do it. I would have taken them first 5 -1/2, but I could not do it. My guy Troy Torrance is on it. I get it, but I could not do it. There's a Quinimus in the house. Great to see you. I doubled up on the Jays-Giants game. I'm already on the first 5 over 5 at -110. I'm now going to be on the Giants first 3 at plus 115. Jose's on the Giants first 5 at plus 130. And Mike M's ribeye play of the day is Jock Peterson at plus 150. That's a 10-6 record on the ribeye play of the day. Plus 11 units, average line plus 175. And Jose also rolling with the ribeye play of the day. Then Rocco Rogers is on Bayo over 17.5 outs in Boston first 5. Can't be on that spot. Respect Tease, great to see you in the chat, my man. And Tori Coker saying we're ready for football. Not long. We got a lot of big things going on. Jose's on the Angels first 5, team total over 2.5 at -110. I am adding the Diamondbacks now 3-0 Padres. Wow, that Musgrove was a gift. Diamondbacks first 5 for me will be an addition. Jose's on the first 5 under 4.5 -115 in Yankees A's. I get it. I came close to moving on it, but I'm going to stay off. Tone Miggins levels play today is Cleveland money line 3 units. Then Joe Yurkovich Hail Mary spot Tigers money line Olsen 8 or more Ks at plus 950. And Musgrove over 5.5 Ks was given to us by Sharpie. And that is our show for today. Rob Free says easy Padres first 5 money line. Nice job. Nice job, Rob. That is our show for today. We have a huge Friday MLB card. And can't wait to break down. Dabby Cab will be joining us. Dabra Kadabra will be running with us. So it'll be a lot of fun for MLB. We're also going to talk CFL. I gave you guys the Eskimos plus 3.5. I didn't get the 4. I could have got the 4. I wanted the 4, but I sat a little too long. It's now 2.5. I got the 3.5, and I got 3.5 -105, very low vig. I also gave out the over 17.5 team total. When I looked this morning, it was 19.5 at -138 to the over. So we got that at -17.5. That's a -120 on each side of 40 cents of vig on those Canadian football team totals at Bet365 bullshit. But and I'm on the over 42.5. That hasn't moved. In fact, some books have taken it down even more. I don't agree with that market movement. Thank you guys so much. Jose, you want to come back to put a bow on this show Thursdays? You can catch Jose and I breaking down the card. Lanil's North Ender, Equinimus, Tease, Rob Free, Mally Mal, Saturated. What a great group. Thank you guys for running with us. Tori Coker, Billy Friedrich, Diesel Eugene, Nasty motherfucking Nate, Joe Hill, Ayo D, DC Capper, What a great group. Thank you guys for running with us. We have absolutely nothing without you guys. Londo, get that cash. Rob Free, we had donos from Rob Free sharing after his huge score on a parlay yesterday. And also our friend Arthur Meade Jr. So thank you to both of you guys. Thank you for the support. And all of you that are in green, thank you. It means a ton to us. Much love, all of you guys. Let's go out there and get that cash. Jose, can you give us the final words? Bless our action and let's us into the future.
Yes, of course. The boat will turn. It's very exciting stuff here. Thursdays are always good days at the pub, and just subscribe and follow us. Pub Sports Radio. And don't forget, visit the website, pubsportsradio.com. Watch the videos there. Missed a video? Click on it right there. Need a book? Click on the link. Sign up right there. You'll get a deposit match. It's good stuff as always. And you even can see our picks there as well. So if you missed one of our shows and need to find our action, look at the Pub Sports Radio website. It'll be there as well. Thanks, everyone. Let's fucking leche these fucking bookmakers today. Leche! Hey, los fucking bookmakers.